And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we have yet another Boeing whistleblower who has died under mysterious circumstances. What's going on with that? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, fake dentist, veneer techs. Listen, if someone completed a course over the weekend, maybe that person should not work on your actual teeth. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Biden administration paid a spicy star, an adult star, to promote propaganda for the administration while doing some very unethical things in the process beyond just paying the adult star. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, WNBA basketball player Brittney Griner has spoken out for the very first time ever since her time in the Russian gulag. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, it's May 4th, 2024, so maybe it's Cinco de Mayo, maybe it's May the 4th. We'll talk about May the 4th and the cringe that went down at the White House a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Ben Shapiro placing a gag order on Candace Owens. Say it ain't so. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again for joining me. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on. I really, really appreciate y'all. I was giggling a little bit earlier because I was reading some of the comments. Hey, I'm late, but don't blame me, blame the white man. I actually got this new thing I've been trying out. So I've been kind of like moving around things in my space up here. So yeah, I just got kind of caught up in that, but I'm here. Okay. And that's my excuse. So aside from blaming the white man, that's my excuse, but I'm here. Shout out to you guys. I really appreciate y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far tonight, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on. There's quite a few things I've not talked about in regular videos, and some things we got to follow up on. Remember the entitled district attorney in upstate New York? Well, we have an update on that young lady as well. Well, not so young lady, but regardless of what, we're going to talk about that much more in just a moment. But first things first, y'all know how I do. Shout out to you guys for sponsoring the show, first of all, because without you, there is no me. So I appreciate y'all. But also, shout out to my other sponsors of the stream, PatriotPost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or just go to their website directly, PatriotPost.us, in the browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to the merch website, ABLmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more. I know it's summertime in the USA. Southern Hemisphere is about to get cold. You living somewhere else, you might need to get you a nice ABL hoodie. Whatever you want is right there on the website, ABLmerch.com, ABLmerch.com. Also, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have sources that's left, right, independent, agnostic, local, national, international. I got all those good things right there on the website, front page, AnthonyBLogan.com. Again, that is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Also, go to the contact page, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. All those links are right there on the contact page, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. And of course, as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you are conversing with me or not, there's a couple of clues. First of all, if you are talking to somebody through email and their email looks kind of suspicious, it probably is suspicious because it's probably not me. Okay, their email says, I scam all day for a living and I live in the bottom of some swamp somewhere on a piece of driftwood at hotmail.com. That's probably not me. All right. My email is very simple, easy to remember. contact@anthonyblogan.com. And if you ever forget the email address, well, you could just go to the website and see it right there on the page. If the email is incorrect, it doesn't match who you're conversing to. If social media is incorrect and it doesn't match who you're conversing to, guess what? That's not me. Don't nobody get scammed. Nobody has time for that because we got a lot happening economically and we cannot afford that expense. So again, go to patriotpost.us, ablmerch.com, and also anthonyblogan.com. And one thing I want to say right quick to you guys, I thank you guys for responding well to the baked-in ads that have some of my videos. So I really, really appreciate that. It's helping out a lot right now because YouTube's going through some stuff. I think everybody's having issues with being able to get political content out there. So I appreciate y'all supporting the baked-in ads that I read. And that's what I was doing. I got a teleprompter for when I need to read ads. Normally, I don't have any kind of script. But with ads, they want so many different little things to be said. I got to have that. And I just write it in my own style so I can say it the way I want to say it. But whenever I'm doing a live stream, I never have anything written, prepared, teleprompter, nothing like that. I just talk straight this way. That's why I can respond to you guys and respond in real time because I never have anything scripted. And my regular videos that I do, never anything scripted. I've never written a script for a video about my opinion. But if I got to say certain things specifically, I'll say that. And one thing I'm always do is let you know when something's an ad. Unlike the Biden administration, who we'll get to in just a minute, they'll tell you like what the Biden administration will do is have somebody promote them and they'll be a paid promoter and you won't even know it. No, this is kind of going back to what I was saying in college. And I kind of want to skip to that right now since I'm on the topic. When I was in college, I had an ad. I went for advertising, graphic design, all that kind of stuff. And in one of my classes, I had a really good professor. And I've said this story before, but I'm going to say it one more time so it's on my mind. I had a really good professor. He was like, good advertisement is when the audience is aware that it's an advertisement and they can appreciate it. But when you're talking about bad advertisement, unethical advertisement, it's when you are advertised to and you don't know it. I don't like stuff like that at all. Now, here is what was going on. I'm going to jump straight into it. The OnlyFans young lady, all right? Oh, pardon me. I can't say that word on YouTube. OF, the adult star. So scratch that. YouTube, hey, I know the Google censors are here. I know you guys are here. So listen, I didn't say that word. I said something else, all right? Hey, matter of fact, I'm black, so that's my excuse. How about that? YouTube, if you don't let me say that word, then you're racist. Anyway, if you didn't see this, let's get to it. Now, shout out to the content creator. His name, I forget, pardon me, Hanania. And I know I'm butchering these names, but her name is Farha Khalidi. Now, she started off on the Chinese social media app, the two T's, TikTok. She was on there first making content, and then it just graduated to the adult website. Now, I've not investigated her website. I know some of you guys have had firsthand experience with her content, okay? Some of you guys are subscribed to her content, and hey, I'm not the police. I'm not trying to get in your business. I'm just saying I don't know about her content and what she's really doing on there. It could be just regular pictures or a little bit something else. I don't know. All I'm saying is that she's most certainly on an adult website. And the Biden administration was paying her while she was in college to promote propaganda. And the thing about it is they did not want you to know that she was being paid to do so. So let's check this out.
So you were in school, you were still in college when you started as a TikTok person, right? Or you started OnlyFans when you were in school too?
No, I started TikTok like the spring semester of my senior year, and I was like, fuck, I finally have to start applying for law school. And then female privilege, life is so easy for a, woman. Obviously, I lucked out. I'm just kidding. I lucked out. And then, TikTok was basically full time for me. I think I was taking ads by the time I graduated college from like the Biden administration and Planned Parenthood and like dating apps and stuff. So it was like fully financially, sustaining me.
Let's pause. Now, first of all, sorry for the cussing. Don't blame me. Blame the, I'm not really sure what race lady, but blame her. But there's 3 things. She was being paid by the Biden administration, Planned Parenthood, and dating apps. Now, that's kind of an odd combination. Dating apps and Planned Parenthood. It's like funding both sides of the war, ain't it? But different story. I digress.
The Biden administration was buying ads from you?
Yeah, I was doing full-on political propaganda.
And they would really? With like what kind of like Biden created 10 million jobs this year?
Honestly. And the funny thing is they're like, do not disclose this is an ad because, they're like, technically it's not a product. So you don't have to disclose it's an ad. Because I think they just wanted like some edgy girl of color to just tell people like when they nominated like Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're like, can you say like as a person of color, that you feel reflected? And it's like a white woman emailing this to me and she's like giving me this script and I'm like, no. And she's like, please. And I'm like, no, I'll like talk about the news of it, but I'm not going to have a white person tell me to be like, this is how I feel as a person of color. Like it's just so, I think that black pilled me slightly on like, political propaganda stuff.
So the Biden administration sees, here's this young,
yeah, I mean they use like a conduit. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not Biden, but it's like a third party. You know what I mean? It's like a media company that's doing it on his behalf. I'm not blaming him for this.
Yeah. And the message is like, because you're a dark.
Well, I mean, what she was talking about as far as it's a third party, it's a media company. Look, you're not just as you're not going to allow any companies represent you if you don't want it. You hire a company to do these things. They don't just do it on their own. You hire a company and they do it on your behalf. That's how that goes.
Dark-skinned woman, you will be inspired by Ketanji Brown Jackson and all the kids should support her.
Yeah, they're like basically as like another black person, just say that like you feel reflected by Ketanji. I'm like, no, I'll talk about like Ketanji's background and her accomplishments, but like I never, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to say like the corny stuff. Even if it was a brown person emailing it to me, I'm like, no, that's not like how I feel. Like I don't.
Now let's pause. There's actually a lot here. First of all, Ketanji Brown Jackson, we all know who that is, a Supreme Court justice, black woman. I mean, diversity hire. And it's unfortunate because she might just be a good judge. I don't know about her specifically. I know she's a liberal. I'm not really into that, but she might actually be good. She might actually be talented. She might actually be intelligent. But guess what? When you make everything about race, and you put that in the forefront, and then when she gets hired, you're hiring OF girls to go out there and talk about her in a positive way just because she's black. What about her accomplishments? I mean, it's crazy when the OF girl has a little bit more integrity than the Biden administration, than the politicos. It's really crazy. People talk about these girls that post content online. They're the problem. Are they? I can't tell. I mean, it looks like we got the biggest problem in this country, if you're talking about an entity or a group of people, is right there, Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C. And I didn't say Democrat, Republican. I said Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C. That's everybody. Aside from a few individuals, everybody on Capitol Hill. So that's the problem. Not all this other, the smaller individuals. That's more of a divide and conquer thing. The blacks against the whites. The TradCon versus the non-traditional women, that's the smaller individual ticky-tack little stuff. The biggest problem is right there, Capitol Hill, Washington, D.C., and that's nothing that somebody can convince me otherwise of. Nobody can say anything else, but different story, I digress. So the young lady right here was paid by the Biden administration through a third party to push propaganda about the administration. And they didn't want you to know that. They wanted to keep it on the low, keep it on the wraps. Very, 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 how can I say? That's very unethical. But you're not surprised. It is a Biden administration. That's just what it is. Hold on. Backup says, did you see that cringe dance routine Jennifer Lewis did when Ketanji got confirmed? You know what? I did not see that. I saw another cringe dance routine. If you like cringe dance routines, I got one for you already lined up. I'm going to get to that in a moment. Let me see if I can find a Jennifer Lewis one. Oh, yeah, I got to see this. And shout out to Jennifer Lewis. She almost died, actually, because she was on a trip somewhere overseas. I'm not sure what country it was, but she fell like off a balcony because it wasn't really gated off properly and she couldn't see. She fell on some rocks, like she almost lost her whole life, and she's an older woman too. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But hold on, Kentaji. Yeah, so let me see.
It's rolling. We've come a long way to Justice Brown Jackson. We came in to celebrate Justice Brown Jackson. We came from Harriet and Sojourner to Justice Brown Jackson. Ida B. Wells and Dr. King. Justice Brown Jackson. Shirley Chisholm. Justice Brown Jackson. Barbara Jordan and Maxine Waters. Justice.
Back up. Why you do this to me, man? Back up. Like, why are you making me find this clip, man? The cringe. Listen, y'all can't see my internal cringe right now. Y'all cannot see my internal cringe, but I promise you, it is through the roof. And just because you made me find it, I'm going to play some more.
Brown Jackson. We came here to celebrate Justice Brown Jackson. A black woman on the Supreme Court. Justice Brown Jackson. A beautiful, intelligent woman. Justice Brown Jackson.
All righty, there we go. Wow. What in the world? Back up. What, like, how you find that? I've never seen that before in my life. That's my very first time seeing that. What in the world's going on? Okay, so you guys ready for some cringe? All right, hold on. Now, I don't know who these individuals are, but there's a, we got TikTok. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. YouTube. Listen, I'm black. Give me a pass. It's okay. TikTok sucks anyway. But look, there's this challenge on TikTok where they're doing this dance. I'm not gonna sit here and do it. Don't clip me trying to dance on TikTok. I'm too old for that. Okay. But listen, there's a challenge that people are doing, and for some reason we have what appears to be a judge and a bailiff and some other individuals doing the challenge. So since we're on the subject of cringe dances, I got some more. I got one more, and then I'm gonna get right back to the Biden administration and some cringe featuring Mark Hamill. You ready? All right, let's check it out. I can't play the music because I'm not sure if it's copywritten or whatever. But yeah, it's like, yo, can I please get my ticket wiped out? Okay, can I please get my child support order confirmed? Can I please see somebody? I've been locked up since Friday night. It's Monday morning. Can y'all please get on the job? Y'all doing TikTok dances. What is going on? All right, this is like C-19 nurses all over again. If my judge is doing that, listen, if my judge is doing that and I got a child support case, I'm completely toast. I am deep fried. I'm out of here. All right. My boots gonna get smoked like y'all was doing on 420. The boots are gonna get smoked like y'all were doing on 420. If I see this lady right here for a child support hearing, I am toast. But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Triad says, at least they got the black moveset. Imagine if they were all white. Oh, man, that's when it gets real cringe. I've seen black, white, everybody do it, and it just gets cringier and cringier the further away from the regular black folks that you get. But anyway, it's cringe regardless, though. But imagine the cringe with like a rhythm. It's crazy. So shout out to all the white dancers that were doing a very good job, but still cringy. Anyway, speaking about the white man, let's go to Mark Hamill in the White House.
Oh my goodness, I wonder why.
Now, hold on. We missed Ketanji running out to the front.
Oh my goodness, I wonder why. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Friday. Don't say things don't get exciting in here sometimes. There's no introduction that really is needed here. I have a special guest, as you can see. Mark Hamill has decided to join us on this wonderful Friday, and I am really excited to turn it over to Mr. Hamill. Here we go.
Okay, how many of you had Mark Hamill will lead the press briefing on your bingo card? Hands? Yeah, me either.
Now, if you don't know who Mark Hamill is, which a lot of you guys, of course, are going to know who that is, he played Luke Skywalker in the OG Star Wars and then subsequent trilogies and everything else. All right, so that's what he's known for. And of course, you got May 4th, May the 4th, May the 4th be with you. You understand where we're going? So that's the whole thing.
And look, I just got to meet the president. He gave me these aviator glasses. I love the merch. Love it all. But listen, I just wanted to say I was honored to be asked to come to the White House to meet the president.
Now, I'm hearing something with his sound, something with his voice, the way he's breathing and stuff. Is it Parkinson's? Has he been drinking? Is he just a little bit older? I don't know what's going on, but I do notice something, and you guys see it as well. I've seen it in the chat right now. Somebody said Cocaine One Kenobi. That's funny. Somebody else said he smashed. Yeah, it's a whole lot going on. Honey Bean says, I'm sick of the nursing home at the White House. You and me both. Sunny Acres or the Oval Office, I can't tell.
The most legislative successful president in my lifetime. And, you know, I don't have to go through the list, the bipartisan infrastructure law, the PACT Act, the CHIPS Act, all of that, inflation, 15 million jobs. Look, it's all good. I mean, I was really thrilled to meet the entire staff because, you know, it's not just one person. It's like a composite endeavor.
He is 72 years old, 73 in September.
And all these people, my goodness, you know, I mean, I have no idea. I had no idea just what went into what is on his plate on a daily basis. So that's pretty much it. I'm open to questions, although no Star Wars questions, please. But I want to say once again how grateful I am, and it just shows you that one person can be so influential and so positive in our lives. And again, thank you so much. And Peter Baker, I loved your book. Yes.
Wow. Thank you, Mark Hamill, for being here. What did you ask? What did you talk about with the president?
Well, first of all, I only expected to be there for like 5 minutes. He showed us all his photographs, and you know, it was really amazing to me because, you know, I was invited to the Carter White House, and I came, and then I came to the Obama White House, but I never was invited into the Oval Office, and it was a large gathering. So this one.
So he was in the Carter White House. So what was that, 1970s? Yeah, so he's been around for quite a minute. Same as Joe. Creepy Joe been around since the same time, the 1970s. I mean, come on. Can we get people that are not like senior citizens? And shout out to all the seniors. But I'm saying, get guys even younger than me. Get some people that's, I don't know, maybe Gen Z, younger millennials, perhaps.
One was really extra special.
All right, sir.
So, yes.
Can Biden bring up Star Wars too, sir?
Well, you know, I called him Mr. President. He said, you can call me Joe. And I said, can I call you Joe-B-Wan Kenobi?
I told you that the cringe was real. I said, get ready for cringe, and I presented the cringe. And in case you just missed that, you might have been in the bathroom, you might have been eating the popcorn or something like that, and you were coughing because it got caught right here in your throat. Let's back up a little bit so you can hear that little quip.
Invited into the Oval Office, and it was a large gathering. So this one was really extra special.
All right, sir.
So, yes.
Can Biden bring up Star Wars too, sir?
Well, you know, I called him Mr. President. He said, you can call me Joe. And I said, can I call you Joe-B-Wan Kenobi?
Joe-B-Wan Kenobi. So cringe. Now, somebody asked, is Jimmy Carter still living? Yes. Jimmy Carter is 99 years old. He will be 100 in October. I'm not making that up. October the 1st, 1924 is when Jimmy Carter was born. He will be 100 years old. He is still living. He did not die. He is alive. Now, I think he might still be in hospice care. So he's kind of like at the end, obviously, but he's still living.
He liked that. But listen, I'm not really here to dominate. I have to turn it back over to our wonderful press secretary, Corinne Jean-Pierre. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being here. I got to get those shades.
So there we go. Mark Hamill with some cringe. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I better not hear anybody. Listen, if I hear anybody in public say that, I'm going to call the police. Like, hey, man, can we please get this person? Look, I heard somebody make a terrorist threat. Okay, so come get them right away. Put them in the penitentiary. Make big rocks, little rocks immediately. We don't got time for this person to be out in the streets with regular human beings. Lock them away in the loony bin forever. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And here is the meeting of these two old guys. Somebody said he got into Nan's cabinet drinking the wine, some of that box wine, some of that moonshine. But let's check it out. Here's their meeting.
May the 4th be with you. Always. Always.
Cringe. I told you. That's what we got going on. Hey, don't worry about, listen, don't worry about these college protests, which ain't nothing but Black Lives Matter Part 2, which ain't nothing but Hands Up, Don't Shoot, Freddie Gray Part 2. Listen, don't worry about that going on. Don't worry about the inflation. Don't worry about the illegal aliens taking over. Don't worry about that. I got Mark Hamill, somebody from the 1970s and 80s. He's going to come, and then you guys are going to appreciate that, okay? Don't worry about it. It's okay. It is okay. All righty? Let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got a lot more going on. And here's a good picture that somebody created. Shout out to Grand Dope Memes. Grand Dope Memes with the meme. Rather than Star Wars, how about Start Wars? Because you got Biden and Mark Hamill right there next to him. So there we go. Start Wars. All righty. So that was a good play on words there. Shout out to Grand Dope Memes for that one. And staying in the White House, Nancy Pelosi got a Presidential Medal of Freedom for her role on J6. They are running this whole January 6th thing into the ground. I knew they would. Right when January 6th happened, I knew how they would carry it, which is exactly what they. Right after January 6th, I made a video that morning, and I said they're going to use this for years. That was 2021. Here we are, 2024. They talk about it pretty much every day. You go to MS13, DNC, CNN, ABC, etc. Go to their YouTube pages and look at their videos, and you'll see Trump on every single thumbnail. That's all they do. I was on my Facebook manager looking at some comments. I don't really read a lot of comments because I can't read all the comments. It's just way too many. Thousands of comments per day. It's just, all I would do is read comments. But I saw one comment, it kind of just stuck out to me. The name of the person, it said something about Trumper finder. Like your whole life is dedicated to finding people that support Trump and harassing them. I mean, but that's the kind of people that these networks have created. These are the individuals they cater to. People that just hate Trump so much, their whole life is dedicated to hating Trump. But anyway, let's check this out.
In American history.
I'll tell you what, one thing I wouldn't want to do is have Joe Biden give me a Medal of Freedom, regardless of whether it's deserved or not, because he's in prime hair sniff position. Now, I don't have no hair, but listen, if I feel that man's nose hair touched the back of my scalp, man, we're going to be in there tussling, okay? We're going to be in there tussling like you never seen before. How they say? It'll be some furniture moving if that man's nose hair grazes the back of my scalp. We're not going to do that. Now, again, she got the Medal of Freedom for her role on January 6th. Now, I'm not really sure what she did on J6 that deserves a Medal of Freedom, but that's the reason why she got it. Okay. Is it a vodka bottle? No. Listen, the Medal of Freedom is a flask. Okay. It's a little door in the back. You can open that up, put a straw in it, and it's a little shot of some whatever she wants. A little shot of vodka. I mean, some 100 proof in there to get her through the day. Absolutely. And then if Hunter Biden was to get one, it'd be a little bit of cocaine in there. Little small spoon, little cocaine, get through the day. That's pretty much how they operate out there in D.C. Okay, now here was an interesting clip from the acting labor secretary. She's asked, have you ever owned a business? Now, if somebody's going to be a labor secretary in the USA, maybe part of the qualifications would be owning the business, because isn't that what you regulate? People that own businesses, people that have to pay taxes, not just, paying normal W-2 from an employer, but being the employer. Shouldn't you have had some kind of experience in that capacity? Now, let's see what her answer is.
Wonderful. Have you ever owned a business? I've said this before, and I'm sure I'm going to get cut off saying it now, but
Good.
I am the
That
daughter
would be a yes or
of
no.
small business owners.
So that's
who
great.
had
I'm a
small businesses
daughter
when
too.
I was growing up. So
okay,
my
this
parents
should
had
be
a
really easy
laundromat.
for you. Let's
sorry?
try this again.
So basically, the woman is asking her, have you ever owned a business? She's asking the acting labor secretary, have you ever owned a business? And she said, well, my parents own a laundromat. It's like, well, that ain't what I asked you. Have you ever owned a business? That's the question. Okay, your mom and your dad, they own something. What's that got to do with you? Maybe you worked there when you were 12 years old or something like that. Okay, that's fine. Maybe you were the one to say, okay, 10 minutes when they're calling for the food. That's okay. But check it out. Have you ever owned a business? Have you been the one paying the bills? Have you been the one hiring and firing? Have you been the one actually having some skin in the game? That's the question.
Let's try this again. Listen carefully. If you need to write a note down, that's fine. Have you, it is kind of comical when you're supposed to be the acting secretary and you can't answer a question. So I'm with you on the comedy. Unfortunately, it's not that comical because it's real life. So let's try it again. Have you, not the daughter, not the mother, not the sister, not the aunt, have you ever owned a business?
Congresswoman, you asked me why the
Have
rule is
you,
important.
okay, let's try this again. So you're making a ton of money. You're making legislation for business owners. You're supposed to be in charge as the acting person, yet you can't answer a simple question. Amazing to me. Maybe we should just pay you more money and that would help you answer the question. I'm going to go back to the question again. Have you ever owned a business? Not a trick question.
Congresswoman, there are working people in this country
Yes.
who do not
I mean,
choose
this
to be
is the very
independent
reason why you
contractors,
can't get confirmed
called
is
independent
because you can't
contractors.
answer a question, right? It's I'll even accept an I don't know. Have you ever owned a business? And yes, I'm Congresswoman. So have you ever owned a business?
Working people in this country.
You know what? This is why I hate DC. I'm gonna stop it right here. This is why I hate DC. Capitol Hill. I mean, come on, man. Answer the question. Like, let's be honest. Let's be straightforward. Let's not play these games. Let's not play games. This is a very simple question to answer. Okay, have you owned a business? Yes or no? No? Okay, cool. Because, okay, if the answer is no, and you want to say, well, I've observed some things, I studied some things, okay, that's great. You were a student, you've observed things, you grew up in your parents' laundromat, that's fantastic. But that's not what I asked you. Because anyone could get education, and you could shadow somebody, you could be around things, you could have experience being around it. That does not mean that you own the business. Hey, check it out. I might go to McDonald's every day. Matter of fact, I might have worked at a McDonald's for 15 years. That does not mean that I'm qualified to be the acting labor secretary when I don't really have the experience of running a business. Working there, being there, not the same thing. And not answering questions is part of the reason why I hate Washington, D.C. Now, we're going to get into some of these protests here, which are still all over the country. And we all know what it is. We all know what it is. These protests, they're happening because it's election time. And they're trying to find something to disrupt the USA, to distract people. and it's the college protest. And what they really want is a George Floyd. I saw one guy, he died in Ohio, and they're talking about, oh, the knee was on the back. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. Now, I'm surprised it's not really been made a really big deal. They're trying to. I think NAACP went to federales to investigate, so they're trying to make it a big deal. But it's not quite that way yet. But sometimes these things happen, and they don't blow up until later. It's because they're blown up. Plenty of cases. It'll happen a month ago, 2 months ago, and miraculously, it gets brought back to the forefront. How? Why? We all know how and why. It's because there's money behind it. There's incentive behind making these stories go viral, making them really stand out to the general public. That's all. But anyway, let's check out. Here's a question that I think has been asked, but has yet to truly be answered. Let's check it out. All right, hold on. I'm going to read this super chat right here. Not Provided says, can you cover this story? Dallas anesthesiologist faces life in prison for injecting heart-stopping drugs into IV bags from Atlanta Black Star. Okay. Heart-stopping drugs. Yeah, I'm going to come back to that. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to come back to that. Let me play this right here.
Okay, so we need to talk about this, okay? I actually have questions for all the college students all across the United States. All of you guys. I actually have a real fucking question for you guys. So, you guys are able to collectively get together and protest something that's going on overseas. And again, I'm not putting down what's going on overseas is not something that we should not pay attention to or care about. But you guys won't protest to the fact that you guys can't fucking buy houses. You guys can't get fucking jobs.
All right, sir, with the cussing. I'm sorry. Don't blame me. Blame this racially ambiguous man.
Jobs after fucking college. You guys fucking are about to pay like 40% in fucking capital gains tax if you guys even inherit your fucking.
Okay, I had enough, but you get the idea. I wish people would stop cussing so much because I've said it before. It kills your message. You might have been saying something. You might have been saying something that was very insightful, very cogent to the point, but you saying the F word every 2 seconds, I can't even really get it out to the public. You can't really play it. You can't put it on the news. It's hard to go viral. You could go viral, but please stop cursing. Please stop cursing. Develop a vocabulary that goes beyond the F word. Okay. I use creative words in place of vulgar words and or curse words. Like what I do. If somebody is having adult relations, okay, horizontal harmony, whatever, I might say fornicating, something like that. Okay, I'm not saying the F word. I'm saying a different F word that's correct biblically at a certain point, and it's kind of funny a little bit, and it's not vulgar, but you understand what's going on. I got the point across without being crass, without using profanity. There's ways to do it. Develop a voluminous vocabulary. Learn the English language thoroughly, and you can express yourself without using curse words. Now, if you're at the house and you just want to curse, whatever, but I'm saying when you're trying to speak to the public, try to express yourself without using curse words. Anyway, here's more. Hopefully, there's not as much cursing here. We got another street interview about the protests. Let's check it out. But his point about what's happening with the housing market and things like that was a great point. You can't buy a house. You're having a hard time economically, but you're worried about these protests. All right. And a foreign country, that's not the USA. Let's check it out. All right. Margie says, in all caps, mind you, I hate that you stopped the video because he's cursing. Take it. You're a man. We're all grown up here. I like the cursing. Please play it. Well, thank you for your all caps request. But as you can see right there, it says no cursing on the show. I don't allow cursing on the show. We got little kids watching. We're not all grown. Sometimes we got little kids watching too. And also, you guys got to understand how YouTube works. When you have a lot of cursing on your videos, that's how you get downranked. That's how you get demonetized. So you wouldn't be able to see me anyway. So let's just not. But let's check it out here.
I'm in New York City right now, standing outside of a Palestine protest. I want to know if they actually understand why they are protesting and see if they can give me any good answers. What are you guys out here protesting for?
No comment.
Why are you guys out here today?
Speak to the organizers.
Why can't I wanted to ask you though.
official statements from the organizers only.
In the simplest terms, why are you guys protesting? Why are you guys protesting today?
Yeah, I don't think it would be a good idea if we...
Why are you guys protesting?
Just to be a part of the cause.
And what's the cause?
Yeah, I'm not the right person to talk to either.
It's not our job to talk. We're just here to support. We're not the spokespeople of this event. This is the wrong people to talk to.
I'm not asking for the spokesperson. I'm just asking why you guys are protesting.
This is...
Why are you guys here today?
We're not interested in speaking with you.
I'm in New York City.
So, I mean, they're just there. A lot of them are just there. And you know what? I think some people don't want to answer why they're there because they're being paid to be there. And they don't want to let you know that. Okay, that's part of what I was talking about earlier with the young lady who was advertising for the Biden administration, and they didn't want her to tell that she was being paid. That could be the same thing going on there. We know there's professional protesters in the mix, organizers, quote unquote. What they say? The one lady was a protest consultant. Yeah, you already know what it is. A lot of them are there, and they don't want you to know that. All they want to do is get their little money, their little 10, 15 an hour, and go right back to the campus eating oodles and noodles and whatnot. That's all they want to do. Okay? And how much money you're paying? The money that's being paid at these colleges, and like they're not even getting a scholarship. $80,000 a year to do what? I mean, and these would be the same individuals that talk about we need student loan debt relief. It's like, ma'am, sir, you decided to go take out a loan for $80,000 a year. Why? I mean, unless you're going to do something that really justifies it. Are you going to be a doctor? Are you going to be a lawyer, a dentist? Are you going to be some kind of high paid career that makes sense to pay that much? Or are you going to be the president? Like, what's going on? If you're just going to go and party and spend all that much money, you deserve to have the crazy student loan debt at the end if there was no plan from the beginning. Now, the plan may not have worked out. It might have kind of just been something that happened. Okay, you wanted to go be this or that, and it didn't work out for whatever the reason may be. But if you go to college kind of aimlessly and you're paying that much money and you have no plan, you're doing it to yourself. You basically have doomed your future. Your future is doomed because of your actions, but I digress. This is at Michigan. Yes, this is at Michigan, U of M. Check it out. So, and then, am I seeing the Ukraine flag or these U of M colors? I hope that's U of M colors and not the Ukraine flag up there, because that is just as bad as the Palestinian flag, in my opinion. I mean, at the end of the day, we're in the USA. If that's not U of M colors, I know U of M is like a navy blue and gold. So this light blue right here, it might just be my screen and I'm not seeing it properly as the way it is right there, but I'm seeing a dark blue over there. So if that's Ukraine colors on the Megatron, that is as cringe as the Palestinian flag in the crowd. It's the same thing, because check it out. This is the USA. So, I mean, what are we talking about other countries and other flags for? You can feel for people over in Ukraine or wherever. Okay, that's fine. Cool. But we're in America. Fly the American flag. I couldn't care less. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I see you, Ojo. Your comments are not freeze. I see you, Ojo. Don't even worry about it. All right. Now, here is UCLA. Now, blue and gold UCLA. That's what I thought. But I think U of M has similar colors. UCLA is more like the old St. Louis, LA Rams. Those kind of like a light royal blue and gold or yellow. U of M is not quite that. It's a much darker blue. All right. But let's check this out. You guys know how the protesters do. Wherever they go, they cause environmental damage. I mean, it's disgusting. It's to the point where they it's like they leave the environment like they have their house. You go into these young adults' houses, into their rooms, in their basements, in their mom's house, dad's house, parents' house. It is disgusting. These people live like animals, and that's real talk. And there's a big contrast between when conservatives come together for a peaceful protest or a march or a gathering and when liberals do it. Now, I'm going to show you what UCLA looks like, and you won't be surprised. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when conservatives have a rally. All right, let me see if I can show it, because there was a protest in Richmond. Well, not a protest. It was a Second Amendment march. Let's see if I can find that one, because that was really good, how they made sure everything was cleaned up and nice and orderly. You know, it was perfectly done. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I might not be able to find that right now in this particular video, but I remember that. And I don't know if I was there. But I remember the cleanup, and they had it sparkling, literally sparkling better. It looked better than when they left. I have some video of the actual rally, but there was another one of them cleaning it up. I'll play that in a minute if I can find it. All right. So let me play this one right here. This is going to be UCLA, and then we're going to play some of the other one where you can kind of see how clean it was. So check it out.
Police have gone through here and forced the pro-Palestinian demonstrators out. CHP tells me 100 people were taken into custody during this operation. It took about 3 hours. What a mess. Police have gone through here and forced the pro-Palestinian demonstrators out. CHP tells me 100 people were taken into custody during this operation. It took about 3 hours. What a mess.
Now you see what they did over there. Now I found a video that I was looking for back. This was in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2020. Okay, pro-gun rally in Richmond, Virginia, and my neck of the woods in VA, and see how orderly and clean it was. This is a pro-Second Amendment march in Richmond, Virginia in 2020. So this says about 22,000 activists from around the country rallied peacefully for gun rights at the Virginia Capitol on Monday. Now remember, this is January 20th, 2020. They were protesting plans by the state's Democratic leadership to pass gun control legislation. Because one thing about Virginia, you can open carry whatever you want. That's the rule. Whatever. You got a rifle, handgun, you can open carry whatever you want. And it's totally legal in the state of Virginia. Now, whether you own it legally or not is a different story, but you're able to open carry whatever.
To stand up for our rights as they're trying to infringe upon. I got family in Virginia. You know, they passed some of these laws. I won't be able to freely travel with the way I travel, you know, to protect my family. So if, you know, I don't come and help support and they pass some of these laws they're trying to do, you know, to restricts my access to.
Let's go back right here. You see these stickers they have on the guns? Now, these stickers were handed out during the march. And after the march was done, the cleanup was so meticulous. You had guys on their hands and knees scraping those off the ground. Those stickers that were on the ground, they were taking them up with their hands and knees, scraping them off the ground. The park was cleaner after they left than it was before they got there. But when you see the liberals coming in, having their little marches of protests, it's not quite that way.
And they pass some of these laws they're trying to do, you know, to restricts my access to my family.
I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe that we have the right to arm ourselves. not only to protect ourselves, but to guard our country against any kind of tyranny.
Somebody said it. Somebody says you can open carry legal, whatever, but if you want to conceal, you got to have a permit. That's correct. That's correct in Virginia.
A tyrannical government or anything like that.
Okay, this back when we had Ralph Northam. Remember him? One of the worst governors ever. Yeah, and I'm glad that the way Virginia is set up, you got to have, this is a funny picture because I know who it is in the background. Okay, I'm gonna finish my sentence and I'm gonna tell you who it is in the background. So, in Virginia, you can only have, you cannot have back-to-back gubernatorial campaigns. So you can only have one term at a time as a governor. You could be the governor again, but you cannot be the governor back-to-back. So let's say, for example, Northam wants to be the governor again. He has to sit out 1 year as one term as a governor and then run again after someone else has it. That's the way it is in Virginia. Now, the person behind him is Louise Lucas, who is a complete hood rat. I'm talking like real bad, real bad. Really, I don't know why she's right there. Well, I do. That's like one of Ralph Northam's goons from my neck of the woods. I went to school with her daughter, I think, back when I was a little kid. Her daughter was cool, but Louise Lucas, a complete nut. All right, let's keep on going.
To me, to keep the guns I have is to be able to protect myself from people like Governor Northam. Because, he thinks he can come in here and just say whatever he wants to do, and that's not how it's going to work. He thinks everybody here is going to comply. I bet you nobody here is going to comply with any of the laws he's going to pass.
I was born and raised here, and I don't want the government taking my right, my liberty, my God-given right to protect myself. No.
And yes, she is from Portsmouth, Louise Lucas. That's where I'm from too. That's where I grew up most of my life. Born in West Virginia, came out here, and then I lived in Portsmouth for about like most of my early childhood up until like almost high school. That's where I lived in Portsmouth. So yeah, I saw her quite a bit just around in the area. And if y'all know about Portsmouth, it's super ghetto, super ghetto. So if you're from there, you might, there's a high chance of you being very ghetto. As a high chance. I mean, if you escape the ghetto element, you escaped with your life. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously. And as you saw in that rally, it was all good. There was no problems. It was nothing but love. It was clean. It was peaceful. It was great. It was fantastic. All right, now let's go back to present day, shall we? Let's go back to some of these individuals. I don't know how we went from having a nice piece of protest to people just blocking traffic. I don't know when the whole let's stand in the road and block cars became popular. I don't know when that started, how that trend came to be, but here we are. There we go. Get active. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I ain't see all that happening. Man, look, I'll tell you what, I'm not getting out of my car. That's one thing I'm not doing. If I am blocked into my vehicle and I feel unsafe, I'm not getting out of my car. You know what I'm going to do? Hey, man, pedal to the metal. Pedal to the metal. In the F-150, man, you're going to hear all them coyotes squealing. Vroom. All the coyotes going to be screaming. It's going to be on sport mode. The pedal's going to go all the way to the floor. And I'll be like, look, man, I was being in prison. I feared for my life. I had to escape. You got all these people, all these mouth breathers on me, beating on my car, trying to get me out. They're trying to punch me. They're trying to assault me. Look, I was afraid for my life. So I turned on sport mode in the F-150 and I gunned it. Boom. That's what I would do. I'm not getting out of my car. If I get out of my car, I'm going to have my gun. But I don't advocate that kind of behavior. All I want to do is go forward. Can I go forward or nah? Yeah, man, get out the road. Stop. Like like, don't be, unless you want to be a speed bump, unless you want to feel what that front grill feel like. Okay, but beyond that, man, get out the way. I'm not trying to bother nobody, so don't bother me. All right, be peaceful. That's the only thing about these protests. Look, I don't care what you protest. It don't matter what it is. You could protest anything. Like I said before, you could protest Israel. You could protest Palestine. You could protest the USA. You could protest Canada, Mexico, whatever you want to protest. You could protest Cinco de Mayo. You say, you know what, you drink too much on Cinco de Mayo, so I'm protesting that. Okay, that's great, fantastic. That's your prerogative. But what you're not going to do is be non-peaceful and endanger my life and my safety. Pedal to the metal. That's how I'm going to go about that. All right, but anyway. Now, some of these guys are going to be able to defend themselves. Some of the so-called protesters, they're going to defend themselves. So when I say, you know what, I'm going to go pedal to the metal, it's going to go straight down to the floor from 0 to 100 in a split second. You're not going to see it coming. That front grill going to turn you inside out. You're going to be flipping. You're going to be flipping you're going to be ragdoll in the sky. Okay, all on Interstate 75, all on Park St. Leon in Atlanta. You're going to be flipping up over the actual windshield. Now, they say, you know what? To prevent that, we have ways to defend ourselves. So, are you ready for the soy brigade bringing out their defense? Check it out.
Seriously, they were looking at police officers, particularly black.
Now, are these pieces of a cut up trash can? How in the world? I don't know. I'm not trying to ask how they did this or why they did this, but we have bike helmets. Okay, you know what? If we have combat gear, maybe the correct kind of combat gear does not have holes in it. I'm just saying. So you have bicycle helmets, not actual motorcycles. You have bicycle helmets, some kind of face mask, big coats when it's 100 degrees outside, and pieces of trash cans cut up to make a makeshift shield. Is that what I'm seeing right now? I think that it is.
Black police officers and accusing them of being the KKK because they didn't want to be taken away, and I guess they were trying to flip the switch. But the idiocy that you see.
Oh, wow. What in the world was that? Did you see that? Talk about a fail. So I guess their whole thing was we're going to ram the officers with these pieces of the trash can and watch the impact. That didn't really work too well. As soon as he ran into the cop, he is on the ground. Boom. That did not work out the way you thought it was going to work out. My goodness. Sir, ma'am, or whatever your pronouns are, please don't do that anymore. That was a big fail. All right. If I'm the cop, I'm laughing my hind parts off. I'm laughing my hind parts all the way off.
On your screen right now. Did you see the guy run underneath? Look, they're trying to get beyond the police tape here. I mean, what kind of obstruction are they getting? Craziness right now.
Man, listen.
Seriously, they were looking at.
Let's watch one more time. See the run up.
Black police officers and accusing them of being the KKK because they didn't want to be taken away, and I guess they were trying to flip the switch. But the idiocy
boom.
You see on your screen right now. Did you see the guy run underneath? Look, they're trying to get beyond the police tape here.
It's like, okay, well, obviously that plan didn't work out. Maybe let's put on a little bit more weight, hit the gym, get a little bit more muscular. All right, this ain't football practice, and if it was, you most certainly failed. All right, if you were trying to go out for your high school junior varsity team, even in the 12th grade, you would get laughed off the football field. All right, that would not work out at all. So yeah, more of the story is don't try to truck over an officer with your little makeshift trash can shield when you don't have any kind of real leverage and you just get pushed over like a little kid. Okay, it's like a little brother or your little nephew trying to fight you. It's like, sir, if you don't stop, you go like that, put the hand on their head, and they just swinging like this. That's pretty much what I saw right there with these grown individuals, grown people. These ain't little kids. These are college students, grown adults doing this kind of stuff. You're 22 years old, man. Figure out something else, man. College and this lifestyle, it ain't for you. What are you even here for? Do you have a major? Do you have a plan? Are you just languishing away, living on mommy and daddy, taking up student loan money? What are we really doing? Anyway, now, here is a good thing that I like to see. And I want to see this for not only the college so-called protesters, but also what's the name of that group? The Fed Front, Patriot Front. You know what I'm talking about. these guys that claim to be white supremacists who are 100% obviously feds. Listen to me very closely. If anyone joins a very public white supremacist organization, please believe that the feds are involved. Now, to what extent, I can't call it. But anything publicly, when I say, I'm talking about they got a Facebook page and they're doing marches and they're doing interviews, that's all federal agents involved with that. Any kind of actual white supremacist group you're not going to see out in public. They're going to do stuff on the low. They're not going to put themselves on blast because they understand they're going to get infiltrated with the government. That's the easy way to get locked up, okay? Like with Gretchen Whitmer. Remember, that whole thing, the plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, it was like 20 guys, and out of the 20, 18 were either straight up federal agents or federal informants. It was only like 2 or 3 normies in the bunch, and the case was so infested with feds, it got thrown out because it's like, come on, man, this is obvious entrapment. All the guys are pretty much feds that are in this thing. So how are you going to have a case go forward against 95% federal agents or informants? Doesn't make any sense, but I digress. Now, check this out. In LA, UCLA, they're unmasking some of these individuals. All right, check this out.
In the household that are just watching our kids become radicalized, say things that are anti-American, post other flags that aren't the American flag.
There we go.
Say that our cops are part of the KKK. There's a role of the parents here too, right?
Yeah.
All righty. Let's get a nice little look at the camera, shall we?
In an incredibly selfish way. Think away from Los Angeles.
Hold on. Let's see if we can get it.
Anti-American, post other flags that aren't the American flag. Say that our cops are part of the KKK. A role of the parents here too, right?
All right, there we have it. A little picture. There we go. Now, this individual right here looks kind of haggard, a little bit older than the college student. I can't really tell. The picture isn't the best. We don't have, it's like a picture of a picture on the screen, so I can't really tell how old this person is. But they appear to be a tad bit older than your average college student. But again, it's kind of hard to tell. I did see a septum piercing. Shout out to all the guys and girls with those individual decorations. But that appears to be a marker of a younger individual and not somebody that's older. But then again, I could be wrong. I've seen people my age with the same thing, so it's whatever. Yeah. All right, so there's a better picture right there. So what do you guys think? You think college student? You think paid protester? Or a combination of both? Oh, yes, that's going to be great on the resume. That's going to be fantastic on the resume. Put that right on the front on your cover letter. Hey, you know what? I want to work in your company. I'm a very well-rounded, stable-minded person. I'm not going to act a fool. I'm not going to be out here with crazy political beliefs. I'm going to be a team player and a hard worker. Oh, for real? Well, what's this? And then they show the picture. They be like, hey, what's that right there? Ain't that you with the green jacket and the septum piercing and the crazy hair? Yeah, okay, well, have a nice day. We're going to have to go somewhere. We're going to go a different direction. All right, let's keep on rocking here.
I would also say that these students.
Yeah, what y'all say? It's giving grandma. That's somebody's meemaw that put on a mask to go so-called protest at UCLA. All right. Female on staff, yeah, that's a good point. Could be somebody that is an actual professor, adjunct, or just working in the school. Cafeteria, lunch lady, could be anybody. That's a very good point. Could be staff member. All right, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, now we have some world news to get into. Some very interesting things happening here. Well, not quite. We're going to watch this individual and then it'll kind of go to the world stuff. All right. Now, this person, I'm not quite sure what the pronouns are. This dude, this male, whatever he goes by, has something to say. Y'all check it out.
Almost 2 weeks ago, 5 students, including myself, were suspended from Columbia University for our refusal to participate in an arbitrary and unjust investigation.
RP to the headphone users. Sorry, let's start from the top. Sorry for the loud noise at the top.
Almost 2 weeks ago, 5 students, including myself, were suspended from Columbia University for our refusal to participate in an arbitrary and unjust investigation into student organizing. Columbia University is attempting to set a dangerous precedent by using the Columbia.
Okay, if you can't see what's going on with this guy, okay, there's a lot happening. First, we have on the Palestinian scarf with the Palestinian flag on it, right? That black and white design with the Palestinian flags on the fringes. Then he is wearing makeup. He has on earrings, big earrings. He has a henna tattoo on his hand, and he has long green fingernails. All righty. So, sir, whatever you got going on, let's hear from you. And let's try to take you seriously.
Dangerous precedent by using the Columbia 5 as a scapegoat ahead of Manu Shafiq's congressional hearing. As a result of my suspension, I'm no longer allowed to engage in any Columbia class activities, and I'm being forcibly removed from my campus housing.
So, okay, now I'm confused. Is that a biological male, or is it a female that's taking the hormones? Because now y'all know that's the new wave. Rather than just the men being perverts and behaving like women to get into the girls' locker room in the bathroom, you got women that are deciding to grow mustaches and beards and take hormones and look like they, play football for a living. You're a whole NFL quarterback, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, all right, Drew Brees in the face. Anyway.
Columbia would rather threaten their students with homelessness than let our voices be heard. This comes after a series of repressive attacks from American universities across the country on pro-Palestinian students, faculty, and staff organizers, namely those at Vanderbilt, Pomona, and CUNY. We need to stand up for our ability to fight against genocide and against forced displacement of marginalized people throughout the world, from Palestine to Harlem to Sudan. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. If they attack one of us, we will organize in millions. Let me make this clear. These are not isolated attacks. This is a part of a coordinated attack on anti-Zionist movements in the United States and our democratic rights. Our rights as students, workers, and individual citizens to free speech and independent thought are being violently oppressed by U.S. society, at our college, universities, at our workplaces, and on the streets.
All right, so that's the typical kind of protester right there. That's a typical university protester, so-called, and I don't know how this person is taken seriously, what's going on, but that is what's going on. That's what's happening right now in 2024 out there on the ground. We got a person with a mustache, a goatee. Back in my day, we had respectable transformers, respectable transgenders. We had guys, look, if you are a dude trying to be a woman, you would at least have the decency to shave your beard. We didn't see chest hairs and all kind of extra stuff, but now it's just like part of the whole thing. Underarm hair, chest hair, nails. It's like you're kind of confused because nails and makeup and all that kind of stuff, that's part of the beauty process of a woman. And also, you're not going to have chest hair and stuff at the same time. That defeats the purpose. It's like you're doing things that don't go together. Okay, it's just weird. It's just weird. It doesn't make any sense. But I think this is part of the rebellion. A lot of these individuals got a problem with their dad, and they're just trying to say, hey, dad, F you. Look at me. I want to wear a beard with long fingernails. It's that kind of attention seeking. Seek therapy rather than seeking attention. But anyway, speaking about Palestinian sympathizers, let's go to UK. Here is the local leader of Leeds. All right, hold on. He's a new counselor in Leeds, UK. All right, let's check it out. And before I play it, you can already see what's going on. You can already see what's happening. Now, I think this individual is the real deal. All right, the real beard, the real male. But this is a counselor in Leeds, UK. All right.
Raise the voice of Palestine. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Raise the voice of Palestine. Allahu Akbar.
So there we have it. That's Leeds, UK, a new counselor. Allahu Akbar. All right. So, hey, man, UK, I don't know what's going on. Y'all got to tighten up, man. Shout out to all the Muslims, but it's kind of radical, in my humble opinion. Normally when I see Muslims, there's just regular normies. They don't do a lot of the Akbar. They don't do all that. Okay, that's not really part of their whole program. Wearing a scarf and doing all this, the top beer, that's like Middle East. You about to go try to put a vest on your chest and go delete yourself and go to the virgins. That's that kind of Muslim. the Muslims I know, they don't do that. It's just kind of regular. They do the whole Ramadan thing. Like Kyrie Irving. I never seen Kyrie Irving just go Allahu Akbar at an NBA press conference. That's not what he does. During Ramadan, he's practicing his fast and doing his thing, minding his business. All right. That's all that it is to it. So shout out to him. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously. Oh, and here we go. Sadiq Khan, the London mayor, has been reelected. Now, people complained about Sadiq Khan the first time, but it's like, okay, he got reelected. So obviously London wants him. They want him. And same thing with a place like Chicago, New York. Okay, you complain about Bill de Blasio, you bring in Eric Adams. What's the difference? You complain about Lori Lightfoot and bring in Brandon Johnson. What's the difference? So at a certain point, we on the outside can say, hey, that might not be a good pick for mayor. That might not be a good pick for governor. But if they think differently, then how are we going to stop them from doing what they want to do? We can't. But anyway, let's check this out.
Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, London.
Khan killed London! Khan killed London!
Can you please? Sadiq, just pause there, please. The security will remove people who disrupt the speech. I made it very clear beforehand that was not to happen.
You know what? We have a very interesting mix on stage. Very interesting mix. Okay, we got the muscle over here. This big bodybuilding looking individual right here. Woman of color, of course. Just one. That's all. Well, a black woman. And then over here, you got another woman of color. And then you have a transformer LGBT with the different kind of. Now, that's something different. That's kind of creative, right? We got the pink hair in the front only, but you a brunette in the back. Okay, party in the front, business in the back. It's like a twist on the mullet, I suppose. So shout out to her for that individual hairstyle. But yeah, very interesting combination. I'm not sure what's going on right here. Is that a robot behind them? Is that a trash can, a robot? It's a whole lot happening right here. And a very mixed reaction. Some are booing, some are cheering. Hey, it is what it is. But yeah, shout out to the pink hair brunette mix. And that appears to be a wig on top of that. That's crazy. You get a two-tone wig, throw that on, and you good to go. All right. Now, here's some more individuals going back to U.S. talking about what's happening. This is SUNY on, what was this, Thursday? Yeah, this is Thursday. Check it out.
Negotiate with us. And I understand that it is a policy. We are here and willing to accept consequences until you are willing to fold to our demands.
Fold to your demands, but then you said negotiate.
This isn't ending until our demands are met.
Should we take down the tents?
No! Tents are a problem. I know that is in our policy. Hammocks are also in the policy, and that has been ignored for years on end and is used in our marketing campaigns.
The snapping is killing me. I hope that these individuals, these young people, when they get to be my age, they look back on this and they cringe. Snapping to clap and the protests and the tents and their fashion choices. Look at what this person right here is wearing. I hope they look back on this and cringe. I know I look back on my young self and cringe. I was involved in the 2002, 2003 oversized shirt, wearing pants that was way too big, looking like I had on a dress, but it was really a jersey. I did that when I was 18 years old. I sure did. And now at almost 40, I look back on it and cringe. So I hope they look back on this and cringe as well. But in the meantime, in between time, if we're violating laws, we need to get locked up. See, I didn't break laws. All I did was just break some fashion laws. All right. You might have had people that work for Hollywood Unlocked or something come get me for being a fashion police violator. But I'm not going to be out here setting up tents and acting the fool on campus, destroying things and breaking into buildings. I hope they look back on this and cringe. And in the meantime, when they break laws, go ahead and get locked up. Go ahead and get locked up, and then you can really have a story to tell. Say, hey, you know what? I did X, Y, and Z back when I was in college, and I regret doing it. And I had to get locked up to really make the point, get driven home. Anyway. Oh, I can imagine extra ill when I get to my mid-50s. Oh, my goodness. I can imagine how much I'll cringe with my younger self. Yeah. Oh, man, I was acting a complete fool back then. I had wristbands. Look, I was looking like them franchise boys. If you don't know, look them up. I looked like that when I was 18, 19. It was crazy. But anyway, let's check this out. I forget her name. You guys know what this is, though. If you know what this is, let me know in the comments. But I cannot think of her name right now. So sorry for not remembering her name. But let's check this out. Street interview.
Trump racist. Do you want to answer this for her? Nope, this is for you. You made the claim. Back it up.
So she's asking why they think Trump is racist. Let's start from the top.
How is Trump racist? Do you want to answer this for her? Nope, this is for you. You made the claim. Back it up. No. How is he a racist?
He has had multiple people be killed because
he
of his brutality.
He has had people be killed.
Ma'am, I live in a town where there was riots.
Very good. I'm glad that that's where you come from. However, who has he had killed?
He's caused his police to do it. He has militiaized this country.
He has militiaized this country.
I can't speak English because I suck at it, but ma'am.
Don't assume my gender.
What are your pronouns then?
They and Z and princess.
Princess? Mm-hmm.
Yes. How is he a racist?
I'm not going to answer you.
Why? Because you can't or because you won't?
No, because I'm pissed at you and you should leave our campus.
Oh, no. This is a free country, right? Whose streets? My streets. Today.
Yes, this is a private campus.
No, it's not. It is a public university. I just want to know how Donald Trump is racist.
Because he has had his militia, our military, be used to protect buildings against people who have been killed multiple times.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So, yeah, I think that's Caitlin Bennett. Yeah, Caitlin Bennett, I believe, Liberty Hangout. Make sure I'm saying the right thing so I don't give credit to the wrong individual. Yes, that's her. Caitlin Bennett, gun girl from Liberty Hangout. All right. Yes. She runs that with her husband. So shout out to Caitlin Bennett and her husband. All right. Good questions. But people, they never have any real, they're never able to actually answer the question. They'll just say things with nothing to back it up. They always do that. That's pretty much the way it goes. Now, back to what I was saying about how expensive these schools are. I mean, I can't really imagine paying so much money to go to a school to just act a fool and protest and things of this nature. I'm there. Look, even when I was a young guy, when I was in high school, when I was a kid, even before senior year, I'm talking about like 8th grade, even middle school, I was thinking about how much college would be and what I could do for a major that would give me the best return on investment that I was able to do. I recognized my strengths and my weaknesses, and I wanted to maximize those to generate the most amount of money by going to college. And I knew that I did not need to go to a really expensive place. I didn't really see myself being a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that. I knew I was very creative and I was technically savvy. So graphic design was for me. So I was like, okay, I don't need to go to no big school for that. And I don't need to go to some kind of Full Sail. I know guys that did that, but that's not really where you want to go, in my opinion. You can go there, but I didn't see the need to go there. So I was like, okay, let me just stay local, go to this school, community college, and then go to a 4-year and test that out. So I wound up with like no student loan debt. My total student loan debt I ever accumulated in my life was $7,000. That was it. $7,000. And that was from 1 year of Old Dominion in Norfolk. Before that, I went to community college. I had Pell Grants, and I also paid out of my pocket from working at Old Country Buffet. Back then, it was easy to do. I don't know how much community college tuition costs now, but back when I was 18, 19, back in like 02, 03, you're talking about $1,000 for a semester for a community college, $1,000. Your books and whatnot were extra, but you could go on half.com back when that first came out, eBay, and get cheap books, or sometimes you didn't really need books. So you could go to school for relatively cheap even back then. Now, the way it is now, I don't know what's going on with the way college is. How much does community college cost right now? Yeah, and my $7,000, I paid it off with no problem. Listen, I paid the money off in 10 years, and the reason why I didn't pay it off sooner is because I just wanted to have that long payment history. My payments were $60 a month. $60 a month was my payment for student loan payments for 10 years. That's it. That was easy. I was paying that at Old Country Buffet. Well, not quite. This was like a little bit after. But even during that time, I could have paid it. $60 a month was my student loan payment. I've heard about payments crossing the $1,000 threshold per month. Per month. I mean, for what? Why? But anyway, let's hear this from a frustrated mom who's paying this tuition, and she's like, hey, I'm paying $80,000 a year, and this is what I see. Check it out.
Columbia reputation.
Hold on. Let's start from the top.
Columbia reputation is being tarnished on the behalf of these protesters.
You're a mom and you have a student that goes to school here.
Yes, I have a freshman daughter.
And how much are you guys paying in tuition?
It is over $80,000 a year to attend Columbia.
So her daughter attends Columbia, and it's over $80,000 a year to attend. Let's start from the top, in case you missed it.
Columbia reputation is being tarnished on the behalf of these protesters.
You're a mom and you have a student that goes to school here.
Yes, I have a freshman daughter.
And how much are you guys paying in tuition?
It is over $80,000 a year to attend Columbia.
And how do you guys feel with this going on and your daughter's not even able to enjoy the experience?
I'm very upset that Columbia University and the administration is allowing this to continue. I believe that the protesters are spewing hatred and should not be allowed on campus, and it needs to be rectified soon.
And where do you think your $80,000 is going to right now?
I was hoping that it was going for a solid education, and now I'm really sad to find out that it seems like part of it is going to indoctrination of our children.
6.5 hours later.
Columbia reputation is being tarnished.
So yeah, it's really terrible. $80,000. Now I looked it up. To attend the community college I went to now, the tuition is $5,500 for 2020, 2021. That's a lot more. That's 5 times more than what it was when I went there? About that, almost 5 times more. Yeah, that's a whole lot of money. It's not a lot of money, but it is compared to what I paid. The inflation is through the roof. It's everywhere too. I mean, the tuition for TCC is almost as much as what I paid for ODU, which is nuts. But hey, it is what it is. But I couldn't even imagine going to somewhere like Columbia just to have student loan debt. And again, that's where a lot of these people are racking up these bills they can't pay because they go to these schools that cost way too much money without a real plan. If you're going to go to an expensive place, please have a plan. All right. Babysitting college, right. You getting paid. You're paying these people all that money for what? I mean, where is money even going? In the drain? Hold on. Change in the Air says, wow, I paid $40,000 for 4 years university in 2016, 2020, $10,000 each year. See, that's a little bit more realistic. What did I pay? I paid $1,000 a year for tuition at TCC, the community college. And that I had some Pell Grants to take care of it, and I also paid out of my pocket. Listen, when I was 17 years old, I paid for my first semester at TCC out of my pocket. I saved money from working in the summertime at Old Country Buffet, getting paid $6.25. I sure did. Paid it in cash at 17 years old. I went up there with a check and gave it to him. Boom. It was done. But then I brought, okay, you could do Pell Grant. I didn't know that at the time. I was just thinking, okay, I can save the money up and pay it. That was wavelength I was on. Going to work every day, saving money up. 17 years old, paid my tuition. I didn't turn 18 until I was already going there in that September of 2002. Yep. And then when I went to ODU, the 4-year school, I paid $7,000 for 1 year. After the 1 year, I realized they were scamming me, and then that was the wrap on that. But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, this man right here has a story that is going on quite a bit. And a lot of people that are up there in age, seniors, people that are retired, you think, okay, I paid for my house. It's done. I can retire and just chill. But not so much, because now we got a thing called taxes. And the taxes can be so oppressive, it'll make you go back and work just to pay the taxes, even if your house is paid off. Now, if it's me, I might just say, you know what, I'm going to sell the house and live on the money that I make from the house. But I understand why you wouldn't want to sell your house. It's your house. You paid for it. But let's see what he has to say.
On Social Security, 68 years old, and working just to pay my taxes. My property taxes were $895 a year. Now, my property taxes are approaching $8,000 a year over the last couple of years. And so we're paying $700 a month rent to the state to live in our own house.
That's crazy. So the taxes, $8,000 a year, which equates to $700 a month. They got to pay the state to rent their own house. And notice he said rent, because if you don't pay your rent, what happens? You get evicted. Same thing with your taxes. If you don't pay your taxes, you get evicted from your home. Okay, you lose in your house if you don't pay your taxes, but it's your house, right? Or is it your house? I mean, you'll own nothing and be happy, right? All you own is an asset that can be taxed. Like I would see real estate as nothing more than something that I could buy and sell. I wouldn't have any kind of connection to it emotionally. This house right here, this house I'm in right now can get sold tomorrow. I wouldn't care. I could have been here 20 years. So what? I'll sell it tomorrow. It's like I look at a house as a stock or something like that. But I digress.
Problem is that I'm 68 years old, and there needs to be a moratorium on what we have to pay. I worked the entire winter up on that mountain for $6,500 just to pay my property taxes, because I'm stubborn enough. I don't want to dig into my bank account to pay them. It's like, well, you want me to work? Well, I'll work. And I'm 68 years old, and I'll work all summer. Mm-hmm. And most of my time is just to pay my property taxes to live in the house that I bought in 1995, where my children are raised. They want to get married there, and I plan on being there until the very end. We just can't take this anymore. This was a great place, and it still is, but the people that made it great can't afford to live here anymore, and our kids can't come here.
You know what? I feel this pain 100%. It's like, look, it's my house. You kind of like standing no principle. You don't want to have to sell. If it's me, I'll sell the house. I don't even really care. You're not going to just rob me the $8,000 a year. No, I'm going to get money. I'm gonna play the system. I'm gonna play a system. I'm gonna exercise every loophole, everything that I can. Somebody said it in the comments. Put it on the LLC. Oh, I'm gonna do all of that. Everything I can do legally to not pay taxes, I'm gonna do it. Legally, I said IRS, so don't nobody try to flag me or snitch or tell the federales on me. Oh, ABL don't want to pay taxes. Listen, anything I can't do legally to avoid taxes, I'm going to do it. And that's just that on that. I don't care. It's LLC or I'm going to sell. I'm going to have a bunch of houses. Like my game plan, listen, my game plan for the future is to just invest in real estate. If I invest in real estate, like I would leverage debt to be able to work for me in the future. Like I don't want to really give advice on that, because I don't want to have anybody, I don't want to have any kind of Dave Ramsey issues. But the point is, I would invest into houses as an asset to sell later. Like if I was to buy a house, my whole viewpoint is when the mortgage is complete, I'm going to sell it. Because all that I did was just live there during the time that I had to pay to live somewhere. And at the end, I can just cash out. That'd be my viewpoint. I wouldn't see it as, oh, it's mine and I love it. No, I see it as a bank. And that bank has money that's being taxed. So to prevent the money from being taxed year after year, and I don't make any money, I'll just sell it and cash out. That'd be what I do. Listen, when this house is done, after I get to be a certain age, I'm selling it. And then I'm gonna have other homes that I buy, and I'm gonna sell those too. I don't care. So what? So what? Your grandmama grew up there. So what? Sell the house, get your money, and don't let them rob you barefaced, no pistol. Well, actually with a gun, because none of the IRS have guns. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let me see. Yeah, but he did the right thing, buying a home. That's definitely a good thing to do, because you got to pay to live somewhere. Pay that money into your house, and then once it's done, once you have paid it off, cash out. Or even beforehand if you get equity. You know, you paying it 10 years and it's worth $200,000 more than what you paid. Okay, you want to cash out right now? Go ahead. Do what you want to do. All right. But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. And also, if you're living in a place where they got these crazy taxes, move somewhere where the taxes aren't as high. I would sell my house and then use that to go rent somewhere that's not as high. If I'm his age, I probably wouldn't buy again. I probably would rent somewhere and use the money that I might buy again at his age, because you might live for a lot longer than that. But yeah, I wouldn't live there anymore. Anyway, let's keep on moving. Yeah, you got to live somewhere. That is correct. Now, I'm going to play this video right here, and I want you guys to guess where this actually is, where the location is. All right. Tell me where this actual location is. You can see it appears to be under some kind of bridge complex or something. And we got all kind of stuff. This looks like something you would see in the video game. Okay, you're talking about Mad Max or like a video game setting. It is the year 2075. The world has come to an end. Only you can stop the madness. That's what's going on right here. Check it out. I have not shown this one yet. I've shown ones that look similar to this, but I've not shown this one yet. This is brand new to me. My man got a whole house. Look at this. You got a trash can outside. For what though? Why have a trash can outside when the trash is all around it? It makes no sense. I don't understand. It's kind of weird, but anyway. So this was Portland, Oregon. I mean, left coast, what are you guys doing? I've never seen anything so crazy in my life. Never in my life have I seen something like this. I mean, just out of control. And I guess it's pretty much just allowed to happen. There's no rule regulation on that. I've told it before. We're getting to be like a third world. Like over in the slums of India, we're getting like that right now in the USA. But it ain't nothing but drugs. Even a slum does not look as filthy as that. A slum might look raggedy and ramshot and put together. You got all kind of like unofficial housing structures in a slum, but it's not full of complete filth like that. All of that is drugs. It's not just homeless people down on their luck. Look, A homeless guy who's just going through some things, having a hard time paying rent or whatever, he's not going to live in a patch of filth like that. That is called meth, heroin, whatever it is. Pure drugs all day long. Vancouver, I'm good. Listen, left coast, California, I'm good. I think about going to LA sometimes because people keep talking about LA. Oh, I love LA. LA's great. But when I was there years ago, I hated it. Then again, it was cold and rainy. I thought it was really ghetto. Going down to where I went to, I'm looking on the side of the road and I'm seeing tents. I'm seeing little, really small houses with bars on them. It was a really, really, really big ghetto. I didn't really see the allure. Maybe I got to go way far out. It's like going to Atlanta. You can be in a kind of sketchy area, but once you kind of go out into the more suburb areas, north mostly, then it's nice and beautiful. It might be the same way in LA. I might need to go way up in the mountains, way up, out away from the actual city of Los Angeles. LA sucks. I hate it, but maybe it's better on the outskirts, perhaps. Anyway, now speaking about neighborhoods and things of this nature, I don't know where this is, but the video was captioned, "Send this to somebody who complains about paying HOA dues." And shout out to the HOA. I have an HOA in my neighborhood. It's not too bad. It's $50 a month. It's just kind of a pain getting the money to them. Ain't no automated. You got to mail them a check and all kind of random stuff. But anyway, yeah, give me the online option. I ain't trying to have to mail a check to pay my HOA, or auto draft. I don't want to have to do all the extra stuff. But some don't like having the HOA because of all the rules and everything. Some do because it keeps the neighborhood under control. So this particular neighborhood does not have an HOA, and you let me know what you think. Is it kind of too much going on? Not really a big deal? Give me your thoughts on it. Now, what is going on here? We got dolls in the front. Listen, you see these dolls? Hold on. Can I zoom in right quick? Okay. Now, if I'm seeing these dolls over here in the front of the house, I'm gonna be scared. If I'm not used to seeing the area and it just pop out on me like that, yeah, I don't like that too much. You guys may or may not know, I'm not a big fan of clowns. If I'm just walking right randomly, new neighborhood, and we got this overgrown grass, and I'm seeing clowns all on the grass just chilling in the front, man, I'm getting my gun ASAP. I don't know what that is right there. Is it some kind of spaceship with a baby on it? I don't know. A mannequin, like a hairstyle doll. Hoarded up truck in the front. So what do you guys think? Is that somewhere you want to be? Should it be an HOA violation or just let them ride? Free country, do what you want to do. Would that be your ideal neighborhood to live in if you got all that kind of stuff going on? Y'all guys let me know. Okay, I tell you what, that truck reminded me of, I passed by this house where I live all the time, not far away, but I passed by the house and you could tell that it's hoarded because even the outside is hoarded. You ever seen the house hoarded on the outside? I'm talking about they got so much stuff inside, the hoard spreads outside. They got bins full of stuff under the vehicles. The vehicles are hoarded. The front porch is hoarded. It's hoarding everywhere. I mean, it's a mess. It's like, yo, at a certain point, can we get a dump truck come up here? And I've seen them come out the house. They're like an older couple. So I kind of feel bad. And I'm not trying to just run up on them like, hey, your house is hoarded. Can I clean it up for you? I'm not trying to have that conversation, but somebody should. All right. Somebody should. Somebody say that's a junkyard. Pretty much. Landfill home decorator. Absolutely. All right. Hold on. Honeybee says can't do that. Not nice to the neighbors. Ruins home values. Exactly. 100%. 100%. Yeah. I'm not really a fan of that type of living. All right. let's keep on moving here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now, this kind of activity is what you see a lot in California. And at a certain point, people got to stop doing things that don't make any sense. Listen, this is also a big thing in Atlanta. People stealing from cars, parked cars, cars in garages, people stealing big bags of money. Somebody stole $190,000 from a bag in the car that was parked and left by itself. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I don't leave anything in my car. If you go in my car, you might find a pack of gum. You might find a microfiber cloth for my glasses. Maybe you're going to find my car's instruction manual. Maybe you're going to find one solitary chip from the bag of chips I had in my car that I was eating. A water bottle. Listen, you won't even find an iPhone charger. You're not going to find an iPhone charger cable with no brick, nothing. You're not going to find anything like that. I would never leave my phone in my car. Listen, when I go to the store briefly, I could be going 7-Eleven, Target, whatever, grocery store. I never leave my car on, obviously. I don't leave my phone in my car. I don't leave anything in my car. What I'm definitely not going to do is leave a big bag of money in my car. Obviously, somebody was trailing them, found them, and then took the money. But yeah, more of the story is don't leave a big bag of money in your car. And RIP to the headphone users. Sorry for the loud noise.
New video from police shows a suspect stealing $190,000 in cash from a parked car in Bensalem. You can see the man smash the back window of that Tesla, load the cash into the white Kia. Police say this happened Monday night around 5 o'clock at the Conoco gas station on the 2700 block of Knights Road. Now, a day later, police arrested 43-year-old Christopher Plantas after tracking the white Kia to an apartment in Croydon. Investigators say the victim is the owner of a company that operates skill machines throughout the area.
So yeah, I don't know who had that money in the back of the car like that, but that's not a good thing to do. I'm not saying that this thief is okay to steal it. I'm not trying to justify the thief, but the thieves exist, low lives exist, and they will steal things from you. I'm surprised they found that Kia because that probably was stolen too. Y'all know how much these Kias are stolen. Kias and Hyundais are stolen a whole lot. And the Tesla, I mean, at least on the Tesla, you have Sentry mode to be able to kind of look at who comes to your car, if I'm not mistaken. But still, why have all that money in the back seat of your car like ain't nothing going on? At least put it in the trunk. My goodness, that was crazy. But most certainly targeted. Yeah, I'm sure that it was targeted. Probably drug money. Yeah. What's crazy is if the person had, if they had all that drug money in the car, and then they called the police like, yeah, he stole my $200,000 in cash. And then the question would be, why you had that much money on you? I'm sure that was a question. You get a call, like let's say you're the police dispatch and somebody calls and says, hey, I had my Tesla parked in or at a business outside, and then somebody put up in the Kia and they stole $200,000 from me, straight cash. They're gonna ask, well, what was money for? Why was it there? What's going on? You got to ask that question. Anyway, never leave that much money in your car. And the reason why I don't leave an iPhone charger in my car is because these guys will bust your window for the iPhone charger. They see that right there? I mean, they will bust your whole window out just for that. These guys, young kids especially, completely brainless. Ruin your car, make you pay all kind of money, go on a safe flight to get your window fixed over an iPhone charger. It's so dumb. But anyway, we have a little bit more footage from the woman. Remember the woman in New York? The DA who decided to not pull over when the cop pulled her over for speeding? We got some more footage. All right, let's check it out. And no sound right here yet. Shout out to the Ford. It's probably a Ford Explorer right here that he has. First on race day, if you don't know, you know. And then he's pulling up to the lady's house. No sound yet. We go to the sound, I guess, in a moment. Monroe County DA, Sandra Durley, traffic stop. Here comes the dog, of course.
Sorry, I'm the DA. I was going 55 coming home from work.
55 and a 35.
I don't really care.
Okay.
So you can call Dennis.
Can you please come over here? This is on a traffic stop, ma'am.
Yes, it is. You can call Dennis Kohlmeyer right now.
Okay, I'm telling you why I stopped you. You didn't stop at all. Did you not hear my lights or sirens or anything?
No, I didn't actually. I was on the phone.
Okay, well, you're not supposed to be on the phone while you're driving either.
Yes, I am with the hands-free. Absolutely.
Okay. Why are you so upset at me? I'm doing my job. You just admitted to me that you were going 55 and a 35 on Phillips Road.
Can you please tell him to leave me alone? It's
Officer Christopher. Can you stay over here, ma'am? This is a traffic. This is a legal traffic stop. Do you have your ID?
No, it's in my purse. Here.
You have your purse right there.
No, this is my lunch. Would you talk to Dennis? This is ridiculous. Just go away.
Hello, sir.
Just go away, huh? I mean, imagine the audacity. Look, you're getting pulled over. The cop running up on you. Just go away. Get out of my face. And then right there, she calls the chief of police and puts him on the phone. Like, yo, talk to your superior. Talk to the guy that's your boss and get out of my face.
Good. Ma'am, can you please stay at the back? This is legal traffic stop. Can you please stay over here?
No. Hey, baby, get your little guy out of here.
Sir, I stopped her for going 55 and a 35 on Phillips Road.
On Phillips Road.
And she failed to stop. She drove all the way back home and parked in her garage. And now she's not complying with any of my commands. Ma'am, do not go inside.
Oh, my God.
Yep. All right. Ma'am, come outside. You can't just go inside. This is a traffic stop. Here's your phone back.
I understand the law better than you. Would you just
953. Can you have a supervisor come to the scene?
No. Get out of my fucking house.
Wow. Whoa. Get out of my effing house. That's all you're going to do? That's crazy. I mean, listen, if that's any other random person, normie on the street, you're talking about police brutality, all of that. Not quite. I'm just joking. But seriously, you're getting locked up. Big rocks, little rocks. You're getting locked up.
You're acting like this towards me.
Because
can you please go to the back of the vehicle?
I'm not going to. I'm home. I was 55.
I don't care if you got home. You were supposed to stop at Phillips Road when I pulled you over. When my lights were initiated.
I didn't know you were stopping me. There was lots of other people on the road.
I was right behind you.
Yeah? There were other people on the road, too.
Okay, I was directly behind you.
I'm not dealing with you right now.
Can you please step over here?
I'm not going to.
Man, look, at that point, if I'm the officer, I'm thinking, yo, that's what I'm thinking about. But no, seriously, hey, you're under arrest, hands behind your back, something. You can't just do whatever you want. But she's a DA. I do whatever. This video is very long. It's like 20-something minutes. I ain't gonna play the whole thing. But yeah, all of that over a ticket. It's like, look, man, just take your ticket and go about your business. It ain't really that deep. But yeah, it's crazy. And then what was funny was the apology talking about, oh, I'm disciplining myself. I'm going to go to, what she said? I'm going to go to some kind of training, sensitivity training. It's like, no, that's not how you do. Because during the arrest, she was trying to like say that when I get the ticket, I'll be the prosecutor, so it's not going to be a big deal. I'll just excuse myself. She was doing the exact same thing in the so-called apology. It was a mess. So she could have got locked up, and that might have been a good idea, but at least she needs to get fired. She shouldn't be there anymore at all. All right. It was a whole big mess. So if they want to be serious here, then she has to actually get out of the way. Get out of my effing house was crazy to say to an officer. All right. Now, let's check this out. I have some more, a little bit more. Then I keep on rocking and rolling. Oh, here's an ad about illegal aliens, I believe. Let's check this out. So Google has reportedly taken down this very effective Trump ad for an unspecified policy violation. What policy could it possibly be? Check it out.
Hello, I'm with the
Hold on, let's start from the top.
Hello, I'm with the Biden campaign.
Yeah, I voted for Biden last time.
That's fantastic.
Is it? Everything costs more. Food, gas, rent.
Okay, but Biden's helping pay rent for newcomers to America from around the world.
You mean illegal immigrants? I'm struggling to pay my bills, but Biden's paying rent for illegals. They get handouts and I'm paying for it.
But Biden can still count on your vote, right?
Things were better before Biden. I'm voting for Trump.
Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
So, I mean, that was a pretty good ad. Why was that removed from Google? They took that down. I don't understand. What's going on? Let's get the reason why. All right, let me see if I can show it here. And it says this ad has been removed by Google for a policy violation. It was live in the Google archive this morning, but I just looked and it's now been removed. Super PAC spent over $15,000 targeting certain communities. Hold on, near Macon, Georgia, after launching it April 25th. All right, so talking about like the black community in Georgia, that particular part of the state. So I guess somebody said it was too good, too effective. I guess that might have been it. It's pretty strange, pretty weird, but it is what it is. Now, when people say election rigging, things of that nature, looking at the ballot box is not really a problem. The rigging what happened with big tech, the rigging what happened with mainstream media, putting out false narratives, talking about J6 all the time. That's the rigging right there. All right. It ain't nothing else, in my humble opinion. The ballot, the voting boxes, the voting machines is kind of a red herring because there's other things going on that we should look into. All right. There are more pressing issues that I would say are going on. All right. But let's get to some calls here. Before we get to the calls, we got super chats. Matter of fact, I got one more video for you guys. This is a United Methodist Church conference. Members share personal details like race and pronouns before speaking. They vocate gay clergy and marriages, but the bishop gets called out for misgendering. Full woke mode. Check it out.
Future of the United Methodist Church will be decided in Charlotte, and they're now meeting for its general conference as it faces a loss of churches and membership.
So here's an article they have up. United Methodist Church lifts bans on LGBT clergy and same-sex weddings. That's May 1st, 2024.
Becca Gorell, Clergy, New England Annual Conference, She, Her, Hers, Queer White Adult. I'm very sorry to do this.
Bishop Thomas Lang, Deacon, Greater New Jersey, Adult White Male.
Thank you, Bishop. Good morning, friends. I am Scott Brewer, a cisgendered white lay male delegate from the Great.
Man, I ain't doing all that. Listen, I don't care about nothing, and I refuse. I refuse. Hey, I'm Anthony. Let's start talking. That's it. You can see I'm a male. Like, I don't got to say, oh, I'm a cis male. Nah, I'm Anthony. That's all you got to know. You want more? Anthony Logan. That's that. I mean, what are we doing?
Great Plains Conference.
Go ahead.
My name is Carol Zagsma, clergy delegate from Minnesota. White, female, gay, adult, with pronouns she and her.
And my name's Andy Hendren, white.
All right, so Andy Hendren. Are we going to guess his pronouns? White male, he, him, LGBT. All right, we have on a flower blazer.
Male, straight.
Oh!
Adult.
Straight male. Wow, that was a shocker.
My name is Stacy Current, California, Nevada, clergy, black woman.
Sherry Hiller, Oklahoma Annual Conference, laity, white, adult, female.
I am black, Haitian American woman.
I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed you black Haitian American. I never would have guessed you. You so surprising to me, man. You so surprising to me. I never would have guessed you Haitian American, huh?
Adult. I think that's it for demographic.
Thank you, Bishop. Alberto Hidalgo, lay delegate from Indiana, gay man, he, him.
Matt Daly, I am a white young adult lay person from the Florida Conference.
Clergy, white male,
Western Pennsylvania Annual Conference.
African American clergywoman, Illinois, Great Rivers Conference, pronouns she, her, and hers.
I'm an adult, white, non-binary person, and my pronouns are they, them.
Good afternoon, Bishop. Good afternoon, Church. Effie McAvoy, she, her, New England Annual Conference, clergy.
Bishop, my name is Ian Carlos Urriola. I am a Latinx lay young adult delegate from the Upper New York Annual Conference.
Thank you, Bishop. Okay, he didn't say whether he's LGBT or not, but if you are an Hispanic calling yourself Latinx, I can already guess. You ain't got to tell me nothing else. You don't got to give me all the details. I can add 2 and 2. I don't got to have the whole equation to get to the solution. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, if you say 2 plus X is 4, I'm going to pretty much just get that answer right all the time. I'm going to get it right all the time. You don't got to tell me the full formula to get to the solution.
How the hell awkward cisgender male, New York.
What did he say? Awkward cisgender male.
Cisgender male.
Hold on, let's go back.
Conference.
Thank you, Bishop. How the hell awkward cisgender male, New York Annual Conference, lay.
Jesse Lip, lay.
We only got to, I already see what's going on. What is going on? The sherbet hairstyle. Look, earlier we saw the party in the front, business in the back. Now we got party all over. We got a whole disco ball happening right here. This is crazy. This is out of this world, man. People are just losing their minds.
Great Plains, non-binary, white. I'm still I'm 34. I'm very confused on if I'm an adult or young adult.
Okay, all right. Let's pause right there. You're talking about church members. Hey, I'm 34 years old. I don't know if I'm an adult or a child. Let's look on your hard drive and see what's there. And don't let any children around this person. All right. Don't let any kids around this person. All right. Because, hey, she or he or whatever doesn't really know if they are 34 years old or 3 years old. You know what? And again, this is a church conference, Methodist church conference. And you got that kind of behavior going on. What in the world's happening to our country? This is out of this world. So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of at a loss of words. I'm at a loss. This right up there with the sword swallower from the other video. Remember that? Where they had the men's conference and you had this dude with his shirt off, oiled up, swallowing swords on stage in front of other men. It's like, is that what you want to see? Do you want to see some dude swallowing swords? I don't really want to see that. I mean, I'm not really sure what men do want to see that kind of activity in front of them. Okay. But it's not me. I mean, we're at a church conference. What are we doing? And if I did want to see somebody with their shirt off, stripping, it wouldn't be a man to take me to the strip club. But at that point, we're not in church no more. At that point, we're in the streets. I'm not a church goer, and I don't even go to the strip club. Why do I want to see that in church? Hey, ABL, come to church with me. All right, cool, bet. Where we going? Oh, we're going to see, it's going to be a men's retreat. It's going to be cool, good fellowship. All right, cool, I'm ready to go. I get there, a whole man with a sword in his mouth. I'm like, you know what? Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it, but I'm going to go ahead and go back to Virginia. I'm cool on this kind of environment here. That's not my cup of tea. I'm not into that, all right? I didn't know I was coming to an LGB retreat. I thought it was going to be about fellowship, not another kind of fellowship. Let's fellowship in the church, not in the bedroom. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got super chats on deck. Then let me get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Thank you to Clarita for your donation and for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Papa Naya Shelley, who says, is it campaigning from the press podium unlawful? Hatch Act stuff. By the way, I thought old boy was Elton John. You know what? The Hatch Act only is a violation when people that are not part of the club do it. You can do whatever you want as long as you're part of the club, okay? You can smoke crack in the White House as long as your name is Hunter Biden, but if you're anything else, then you're going straight to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little rocks. And it's just simple as that. Thank you to Patch Duress, who says, if Mark Hamill wasn't such a beta male, we wouldn't have this cringe next to cringe on identity hire or Luke Skywalker or Star Wars episode 7, 8, and 9. Every day our heroes, quote unquote, are revealed long themselves as villains. Shout out to Not Provided, who says, can you cover this story? Dallas anesthesiologist faces life in prison for injecting heart-stopping drugs into IV bags from Atlanta Black Star. I will look into it. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you to Patch the Rest, who says, men have to stop being betas. We wouldn't have Secretary Woos in D.C. Jesse Lee Peterson's prescription is easy peasy. Be alpha males. Don't be beta males. No Palestinian Hamas protests. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, what's your voting record, ABL? Mine is Kerry, Obama, Romney, Trump. That's a good question. I started voting in 2004. Yeah, it had to have been 04, right? Yes, 04. I voted in 04. This was, wow, you taking me all the way back. Who was running? Was it Al Gore? No. This was 04. This is Bush. Who was running in 04? Hold on. I can't even really remember. Because I know Al Gore and Slick Willie, that was 1992, 1996. Then 2000, Bush won. I think, what was that? Was it Mitt Romney in 04? I can't really remember. So 04, John Kerry? Yeah. John Kerry versus George Bush. So I think I might have voted for, was it John Kerry? I can't really remember. I think I remember 2004. And I remember wanting to actually vote for George Bush because 9/11. Because I remember 9/11 happening. And I was thinking about voting for George Bush, but I didn't because I was black. So I don't know if I actually voted that year. But I do remember thinking about voting for George Bush at that time. Now, I'm not saying now that he's a good president necessarily, but I did think about him. Bush versus Kerry, yeah. I remember Kerry. I remember, you know what? I'm having a flashback. I remember that time. People were talking about John Kerry, but I didn't like him. I did not like John Kerry at that time. I remember that very well. And then 08, of course, you had Obama. I voted for Obama. I remember the 08 election very well because in 08, what happened was the year before my granddad had passed away in 07. And he was running at that time. Obama was running at the time. And granddad was like, he never thought Obama would be able to make it. He thought it would be Hillary Clinton to get the nomination because they would not let a black guy become the president. That's what he said to me. My granddad, blacker than me, okay, probably 100% African ancestry, from Virginia, foundational Black American, absolutely. And if you know about Virginia, you're from South Boston, Virginia. Look it up and you know what I'm talking about. Straight from where they brought the slaves at, right there. He was telling me, and granddad was always into politics. He knew the first black governor of Virginia, Douglas Wilder. He was really into that stuff. So he was telling me back then, he didn't really see it happening. So then when Obama got the nomination and won, people were crying. We had a party at my office back in the day. When I had an ad agency, it probably was like 30 or 40 of us at the party in my office. And people were crying. It was crazy. But then in 2011, I remember very well, I'm on social media, I'm on Twitter, and I'm talking to people. I'm like, hey, what's going on with this money? And a lot of friends that I had were asking the same question. It was like everybody was just kind of sitting around like, where's the money at? Where's the change? It was rough. 2011, I'll never forget it. That year, that's when I had to, like, it kind of clicked. My previous thought about Bush being better than Kerry, having some doubts about Democrats and what they were doing, it all kind of came together. I was like, look, okay, we got this guy in office. Everybody was crying. But then it's like, okay, what are we doing? What did we get as a result? So that was a red pill moment. 2011, 2012, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. Okay. And then I voted against Barack in 2012. Mitt Romney, Mitt Romney, but better than Obama. better than Obama. And then, of course, 16, here comes Trump, and that changed the game. That changed everything. And then, of course, 2020, Trump again. So now 2024, Trump one more time. That's my voting record. All right. Yeah, I remember the shoe. I remember that very well. When he was in Iraq, I think that was, and it threw the shoe at him and he ducked. That was a crazy moment. But let's keep on rocking. Shout out to Lothair who says, hey guys, ABL got on me for cussing on my call. Sorry, not sorry. That's his rules. If I have to follow those rules, you as well. Promise me if I cuss like a sailor in person. Yeah, you got to follow the rules. No cussing. They could have patched the rest who says he's racially ambiguous, but he's definitely half black or half Latin and half white. Why do half whites always causing trouble? Do they hate their beta white fathers? I'm not sure who you're speaking about. I know I made that comment earlier, but I can't remember who I was referring to. But the problem with a lot of the biracials is that they have what happens is they feel pressured to be one or the other. They can't just be mixed. They got to be black or they got to be white. And the problem is they're never black enough or white enough. So they always got to just try to make themselves be one in an aggressive fashion. And what it usually ends up being is they try to be very black. And they got to go through hoops to get to that particular point, i.e. Colin Kaepernick, i.e. Malcolm X, i.e. Louis Farrakhan. Real light-skinned brothers might be kind of halfway, half-caste, a white grandma or something like that. It's always the same way, but I digress. I don't want to get into that right now. That's a really deep and kind of sensitive topic to some people. They get a lot there who says, watching this makes me think these are actually college kids. Or are they actually college kids? They act annoying like children throwing a temper tantrum like a bunch of preschoolers. I have no hope for humanity. They get a Jim Cavett for gifting the ABL membership. I appreciate you for that. They get a Jason McCowan who says Uncle ABL channel is spicy as of late. Hey, man, it's going to get spicier. You know, I covered the story, and thank you for that. Matter of fact, that's a great segue into the promotion for Uncle ABL. Uncle ABL channel, if you've not subscribed to it, please do so. I just covered a story on there about why these college athletes, black college athletes, why they date white women. Okay, and you got to check that video out. It's not bashing black women at all. It's giving the real reason why they do it. And the main thing, a summary is, when you go to these colleges, when you go to some of these big universities that these big college athletes go to, Duke University, UTK, UGA, these are not cheap schools to go to. You saw right there, Columbia, $80,000 a year, $40,000, $50,000 a year. If you're going to a school like that on no scholarship, you're just going, your parents have money to send you there. Okay? That's just kind of what that is. And if you are going there without your parents paying, you're on a scholarship. And a lot of these schools are primarily white. So you are a black athlete, you're the king of the campus or whatever, and it's white women that are there. That's going to be the majority. If there are black women there, they're not going to be paying for it. Usually they'll be on a scholarship, athletic or academic. And it's not going to be a lot of them. And if they're on a scholarship, they have no money. They probably don't have any kind of NIL deals from athletics. They're just going straight for academics. So they're broke. They have no money. Or you'll date somebody from the community who's not going to college, who does not have a lot of money. But I don't want to get into the whole thing. But basically, they're talking about, well, you know, it's a video you got to watch over there. But I really got into the nitty gritty of the whole situation. Okay. But it's real reasons why there's color divides and cultural divides and things of that nature. And I explained it without being racist or just saying this is what it is. You got cultural things, you got economics that goes into it. It's a lot that happens that makes that kind of situation be what it is. And I also described that it's not all sunshines and rainbows, because we saw Tiger Woods get tore off $100 million from his ex-wife. Russell Wilson had an ex-wife too, who was a white woman on the couch with him. So it's not all sunshines and rainbows. And at the end of the day, you do whatever you want to do. I'm not here to police your choices. You could be LGBT. Hey, if you LGBT and somebody else is too, and y'all can say that's your business. Not my cup of tea. Don't put me in it. Y'all do whatever you want to do, though. But I digress. That's right, Cinderella Charming. You date and marry whoever you're around. Exactly. 100%. Shout out to Tri-Edge, who says, happy 4th, ABL and fam. They should have called Jar Jar Joe earlier. That would have been a great one. Jar Jar Joe. Thank you to Bina for gifting out 5 ABL memberships. I really appreciate you for that. Shout out to you and welcome back. Shout out to Patrick Rest, who says, as the late Rick James, well, I read what you wrote, but I can't read it. As the late Rick James once said, cocaine's one heck of a drug. Absolutely. Thank you to Andrew Rivera, who says, hey, ABL, hope all is good. Great show as usual. Thank you for that. Thank you to Patrick Rest, who says, ABL, have you ever met half racial people in America that simply accepted their mixed heritage and didn't go the bitter path by leaning hard into their ethnic half? Yeah, I mean, I got nieces that's biracial, and then they lean into it. They're not really pressured because they don't feel pressure to fit into one or the other. Really what happens is a lot of times if you're biracial, you kind of look toward to other biracials. So it's her and her sister. They both biracial, so they kind of can be with each other and other people that are kind of like them. But then I see them interact with other kids, and they cool with black or white or whatever. You know, but sometimes when you're in spaces where, like how I grew up in 100% black, like when I was a kid, put it to you this way. If you were light-skinned in my neighborhood, you were like, seeing a light-skinned person when I grew up in Portsmouth was like seeing a ghost. Everybody was my complexion or darker. Nobody was light-skinned. A light-skinned person was like a white person. It was like, you white? You, like, it was always a question. If you were a light-skinned person, it was always a question. Is your mom white? Is your dad white? Like, what's going on? Are you mixed? Where you from? It was always an inquisition. It was never just an acceptance. But nowadays, depending upon where you live, it's okay. It's not really that big of a deal because there are more who are like you. But if you're in an all-black community, it's a question. And if you're in an all-white community, it's a question. Nikki Haley syndrome. When she's an Indian in a town where you're either black or white with no in-between, you see what I'm saying? That's kind of how it was for light-skinned people when I was a kid, at least. All right? So, yeah, shout out to everybody, though. You biracial, black, white, Puerto Rican candy stripe. I don't care what you are. Shout out to everybody. You know what I mean? I look at everybody for who they are on the inside. But definitely, when I was a kid, there was not even any light-skinned people. Look, you can have a whole school. It's 80% black, 20% white. 90% of the black kids or more, 95% look just like me. So that's just kind of what that was in the hood, at least. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. And let's get to some calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And let's get rocking and rolling. Yeah, where I live right now, it's in the suburbs, but it's multicultural. Okay. I got Indian next door neighbors, white next door neighbors, black next door neighbors. When I say that, I'm like behind me, to my side, in front. There's a lot of Indian, black, white, Hispanic. It's a little bit of everybody in my suburban neighborhood. People think that the suburbs aren't diverse. It depends on where you live. If you're living in a city that's not really diverse, it'll be the same way in the suburbs. But it also depends on some historic stuff. You're living in Atlanta, Georgia. If you're living on the outskirts, it's crazy. If you're living inside the city, it's black. In the south, in the suburbs, it's black. In the north, in the suburbs, it's white. It's like you're in Alabama, in the north, in the suburbs. You go from Midtown, Atlanta, where it's pretty much everybody's black, to 20 minutes out, like Roswell or like Alpharetta, white, totally white. You go down McDonough, all of that, black. East and west, you're getting into Alabama territory. Anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. I'm going to speak to you on line 470.
So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Hey, Anthony. It's Craig from Wild and Wacky Atlanta. How you doing, sir?
It's all good. About yourself?
Oh, man. Had a great day today. Went up to Forsyth and wore my Trump T-shirt up to the Liquid 400 Antique Show and had a great time. A lot of supporters up there. Love my shirt. Went up to the Lanaga, too. And over there by the sign, over by 400 and the entrance to the sign to Lanaga, ran into some black Trump supporters on the Joe Gotta Go tour bus. Have you heard of it?
I've not heard of that, but that sounds amazing.
Man, they were young, too. One guy was 20. It was 3 women and one guy. The guy was 20 years old, and the women were maybe 22, 23, 24. And they're all, like, politically aware and then very educated and, absolutely hated Joe Biden. And they had all this Trump gear, T-shirts, hats, flags for sale. So I bought an American flag and a President Trump 2024 T-shirt. I'm so glad that they're out there, man. They're touring America. Check them out.
Yeah, I need to for sure. I got to find these guys and just run into them. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, they're coming to your neighborhood. They'll probably be in Tennessee too. You're in Chattanooga, or actually North Chattanooga, I think now.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, it was a great day. Also, I got kicked off YouTube for making inappropriate and offensive comments about Bill Clinton being a traitor to America and a rapist.
Well,
so yeah, I'm banned until about 9:30 tomorrow night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Clinton back in March of 1999 bombed Belgrade, Serbia for 78 days. Yeah, that's right, over 11 weeks, just to take off the attention from his scandal and the fact that he committed perjury in court.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So YouTube got their feelings hurt because the truth hurts, and so they banned me. So I'm going to put up those slogans. I'm going to put them up in different languages now. So they can't ban me. So anyway, man, keep up the good work. I promoted you. I mentioned your name to the Joe Gotta Go Trump tour people. And yeah, man, I'm loyal. I'll always be loyal to you. I want to see your child grow. Really appreciate what you're doing. And I'm still Ultra Mega, Trump 2024, and Bill Clinton's a rapist and a traitor to America still. Screw you, YouTube, you bastards. All right, man, have a great night.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call 434-658-1220. Yeah, don't get me banned. Don't come on here and just say things because like if YouTube bans you for leaving the comment, why would you come on my show and say it to get me banned? 786 you're on line with speaker 2, 786.
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
I'm well. About yourself?
Fine, and the name says it all. No pronouns needed.
Right on.
Yeah. I just want to say really, really quickly, one thing, I have a very unusual degree when I went to college. I went to college back in the 1980s, and yes, the tuition was a lot lower. I went to the University of Florida, which is, of course, a public university. At one point, after I got my state residency, I was paying maybe per year like $1,100-$1,200 in tuition. That's the tuition alone. But I was able to live and go to school there for about less than $10,000 a year for all expenses. That's housing, food, books, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, and I just wanted to say too, one thing about the degree I got in, I had 2 summers of mandatory co-op employment, which is ironic enough, and that helped pay for my school too. But colleges used to offer, in general, even though it may not have been a mandatory, co-op employment where students could delay their graduation but go to work, alternating semesters or something, get some job experience, make some money, and if you do good on your job, that weighs just as much, if not more, than the degree by itself.
Right.
Which is sad to say, that it doesn't seem like they're doing that anymore. Another reason why a lot of college tuition's gone up is because, they have a lot of these professors teaching these meaningless like gender studies programs and all. We're getting paid a lot of money. And another thing too is universities have ballooned in administrators. In fact, it's not unusual for a university now to have as many administrators as they have professors. And I'm like, really? Do we need that?
That's crazy. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I mean, it's almost like having a 7-man army with 6 generals and 1 private. You know, it's crazy.
Right.
But yeah, at any rate, I'm only going to say one more thing. Then I'm going to hang up because I saw some people like it. There's a great song out now. You brought up Hunter Biden. It's by Afroman. He redid his big hit, Because I Got High.
Yeah.
And he made one called Hunter Got High.
Yeah, I saw that. Very, very funny.
Oh, you did? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I hope it goes even more viral than it is. I heard it for the first time today, and I was screaming with laughter. All righty. Well, it got 10 million and one other callers, so I'll let you go. Thank you. Good night, and take care.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Sure thing.
All right, shout out to the caller. Now, I would play that Afro Man song, but obviously it'd be a copyright, so I can't play it. All right, let's keep on going here. 508, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Drew. What's up, ABL?
Hey, not too much. About yourself?
Doing all right, man. So I have a story. I've been thinking about who I could actually tell this to, and talked to a buddy of mine, and we were like, talk to ABL about this. I was going to email you. I would love to do like an interview or whatever, if that would ever be a thing. But I was involved in Occupy years ago before I figured out life, and when I was an idiot, really. But I wanted to talk a little bit about like what's going on with these protests and people talking about outside sources kind of influencing things like that. I was involved in Occupy Worcester in Massachusetts, and then Occupy Boston, and they actually shipped me down to DC. And pretty much what happened, they loaded us. I mean, like 6 or 7 buses came in. They loaded us all in buses. They had an envelope for every single person that got on the bus. This was, 10, 15 years ago. So they had $200 in each envelope. And they went straight down the bus, and every single person on the bus got an envelope with $200 in it, which is pretty much back in those days, after taxes, that's pretty close to like half a week to a week's worth of pay. And it was like, all right, here's some money to pay for your food and whatever you're going to do down there and stuff. And we want everybody to like hold these signs and do all this stuff and make a disaster. And pretty much the object was to be as annoying and unruly as possible. And they had everything when we got down there. They had like the barricade stuff and the cones and the, like the bullhorns and everything. And they literally paid us to go down there and cause chaos. And actually, that was the first time that I was introduced to Antifa. I had never heard of them before. And most of us actually were kind of, we were upset about the country and the government and corporations and everything like that. And I mean, there's a bit of truth to all that. But when I saw Antifa for the first time, I was like, whoa, who are those guys? Because they're, they got the black pajamas on and the black masks and everything, and they're destroying everything. They're smashing windows. They're spray painting statues. They're starting fights with people. And the people that I were hanging out with, we were all like, that's not what we're about. Like, that's not why we're here. We're not trying to actually like destroy things. We're just trying to get our point across. And these guys just, they were bad news right from the get-go, and everybody kind of knew it. But those tactics and what that was, I've kind of watched this all progress through the years, and it's the same stuff that we see now, but on a whole nother level. It's it just continues to progress, and that's what they do. They actually have an amazing amount of funding for this stuff, where they could just go and hand envelopes of money to people and be like, hey, you don't got anything going on this weekend? We're going to give you a bunch of money. We're going to ship you out to this place. When I went down there, actually, I was kind of like, I kind of want to see, the Lincoln Memorial and go like explore. I went to Chinatown and stuff like that. I like participated in a little bit of that stuff, like all all the craziness and stuff. But I wanted to explore because I was like, hey, this is my chance to like check out DC, which is a really creepy place, by the way, but that's a different story. But I just kind of wanted to touch base a little bit on like what these people actually do. I talked to people about Yuri Bezmenov a lot. I've sent so many people the interviews of him, and people don't really seem to want to watch it or pay attention to it. But I mean, this whole movement has infiltrated our education system, our court system, and it's really it's an ongoing and progressing issue. And these people are professionals. They know exactly what they're doing. They know that's why you hear the same slogans and the same things being chanted throughout the country in these protests, the Antifada, all that stuff. Like they know what they're doing, and they've been doing it for decades, and they're professional, and they know exactly what to do to create a stir and create a problem wherever they go, and they'll pay you for it, So I just kind of wanted to mention that. I have a bunch of stories, and I mean, it would be great to get together with you. If I could ever fly down and hang out with you or whatever, that would be cool. But I just kind of wanted to touch base with you. You're probably the only person that would actually let me talk and say these things without being someone of public merit or whatever. So I appreciate what you do, man. And thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks, bud. Bye.
All right, great call. So yeah, I believe him 100%. I believe him. I mean, you can see like a lot of the organization, and people have names. People that go down there have written books about how they so-called organized protests, and you see them all the time. We saw it during Black Lives Matter. I think Black Lives Matter was when it really kind of hit me how these things are organized. Before that, I didn't think about how organized it was, but that let me know that, yeah, this is a real thing that's organized and set up and paid for. 859, you're on the line. What's speaker to?
1 second, bud. I got. Oh, my bad. Sorry, my walk is a little weird. You hear me this fine?
I hear you.
All right. Hey, it's a Luciferian Libertarian friend right here. Straight at work right now, but hey, I'm on my 15. If I had to cut quickly, you know what happens, Right on. So what's up with you tonight?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, man, the colleges, man. I mean, when I was trying to go for college, I had all these teachers when I was a kid trying to peer pressure me into college, trying to get me into college, trying to like spend all this money and stuff like that. I ended up just going to like a trade school. Thank goodness, because I know guys I went to high school with are still paying for debt to this day for their colleges. And all this indoctrination stuff, all these, these people acting like children. I mean, I made that super chat earlier. Man, it's like, these are like preschoolers.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how they behave.
I mean, when I was in school, man, it was like always like anti-war, anti-Bush. But now it's just like, we get all these 50 pronoun kind of people protesting. They cause more damage onto the property and onto the area. They cry about the environment, but yet they cause more problems in the environment. It's like, silly. The hypocrisy I hear from these people, and it's becoming like very cultish, to my opinion. I went from the fighting against the religious right, because during the Satanic Panic. Now I'm kind of fighting with these nut bars because but they have hurt feelings. It's like the whole world has been turned upside down recently, ever since like 2015, and it's insanity. Oh yeah, the pronoun church. I laughed my butt off. I'm actually going to give that to. I want to send that clip to one of my friends, and I'd be like, "Oh my God, they gotten worse." Hey, ABL, I enjoyed the phone call, man. I appreciate it. I got to get back real quickly. They're just calling me right now.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, much love to you, man. Love your content, bro. See
Thank you. All right, shout out, man, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Hey, speaking about protesters and whatnot, you ready for some more cringe? Hold on. Before we get right back to the calls, y'all hang tight. I want to show you this right quick. This is a pro-Israel protester. Okay, so just to let you know, the protesters are weird on both sides. All right, check it out.
They had a weapon. I was stopped by masked anti-Israel protesters who mistook me for someone of Jewish background. They said I was an Israeli agitator. They physically assaulted me on Friday. The last time that I was on campus, they actually punched my brother in the head. They reached into their hoodie pocket and claimed that they had a weapon. I was stopped by masked anti-Israel protesters who mistook me.
So, I mean, they mistook you for what? For a Jewish person? For somebody that's, I don't understand. Look at what he's wearing. So for you guys who can't see, there's a whole lot going on here. This is a male with, I'm not sure what's happening with their hairstyle. Ramen noodles at best. Oodles and noodles at best. A blonde kind of bob type of curly afro, but not up like a down fro. And then you have some kind of bedazzled necklace. And he's wearing all pink, like a Barbie, right? A pink hoodie and a pink t-shirt that says Zionist. Okie dokie. So, hey man, we need to
punch my brother.
And sorry for that, man. You know, my left ear really enjoyed that. But yeah, we need a better crop of protesters because these guys are not really doing it for me. I'm sorry, they're not really hitting the target. But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Skype caller, who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, mate. How's it going? It's Danny. How you doing, mate?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Yeah, all good, man. Yeah, sorry, that guy you just playing on the just threw me off, man. I mean, who the hell is that, man?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is that Barbie? Like, I mean, what's going on?
I think that might be the theme of his outfit, Barbie.
Is he trolling though? Do you think, or is he actually a genuine person?
Dead serious. That was Fox News that played that.
Oh, that was Fox News.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, that just threw me off. Can't remember what I was going to talk about now. I think it was about. Yeah. So you played a bit of that. Sadiq Khan. So yeah, that demon who's been re-elected again.
So what's your take on that? How do you feel about him being reelected again? Are you surprised that happened?
You know what? I'm not surprised, but I think it's just me being naive. I really thought people in London and just were waking up and they saw just how bad he was as a mayor, how he's ruined London and like for as long as he's been mayor and all these policies all the people that I bump into or speak to about him, it's like we can all see it. We can all see how his policies are garbage. It's the same sort of liberal mentality of a greener London, and it's all this just globalist crap. Like the crime rate in London has skyrocketed. Knife crimes through the roof. No practical policies have been implemented, but again, he's re-elected. So, I mean, obviously the Muslim population in London have obviously voted for him and the ignorant liberals have voted for him. So we're screwed and we're just going to get worse. Crime rate's just going to increase. He's nonsense policies. He's just going to keep doing the same thing as he's done before. He's not going to change. So we're kind of screwed, to be honest, Bill.
Yeah, man. It doesn't look too good, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw a story recently, happened like a week ago, just some incident of this guy went on a bit of a rampage with a machete in some town. I can't remember exactly it is, but he basically just randomly, just on the street, just looking to kill people. And he killed this young 13, 14-year-old kids. And yeah, and obviously police turned up and 10 of them like that tasered him. And obviously now he's waiting court and all that stuff. And it's just, these sort of incidents happen quite a lot. And it happens obviously a lot in these gangs as well, in these communities, killing each other. And again, no policies have been implemented, nothing, no stop and search, no anything, no harsh punishments, no actual justice, nothing. And when Boris Johnson was mayor before Sadiq Khan, I think it was before Sadiq Khan, he actually implemented a knife crime policy where there was like a lot of stop and search in sort of high crime, communities where these things were happening. And there was like, if you were caught with a certain knife on you, you'd get like minimum to 5 to 10 years. And apparently, like from what I remember, the statistics of knife crime started to decrease. It was actually getting better over time. But then he left, said he'd come in, scrapped it because, you can't stop and search people because it's racist, isn't it? Because when they were going into these communities, because it just so happened that these communities were the majority of the population were black people, were black youth. And so because obviously a lot of the knife crime was happening in these communities, police were going into those communities and they were doing stop and searches and they were finding a lot of knives on these youths. But again, you can't do that because it's racist. And so obviously he scrapped that. He scrapped the police force. You barely see a police officer nowadays. You see them driving around now and then, but that's it. And again, that's it. And you take away, people don't have rights to carry anything on themselves, like I was discussing with you before. And that's it. We're done. We're doomed. I mean, and I know you talk about all these liberal cities and stuff like that, and the Democrats. It's the same thing here, but 10 times worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, obviously, for sure.
Yeah, and sorry, and I'll be quick. So that video you played of obviously that guy, again the guy, obviously, let's be real. He's a radical Islamist, the one who won in Leeds.
Yeah, that was crazy. Very very radical. And, it's kind of a sign of the times where you have these kind of individuals winning. It says a lot about people who live there. That's what they want.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are going to get triggered by my statement, me calling him a radical Islamist because, I'm Islamophobic or whatnot. And again, it's all false because there's no such thing as Islamophobia, just like transphobia. It's all these nonsense names that people call it, There's no such thing as Islamophobia. I have a rational fear of Islam. I have a rational fear of transgenderism because that's a mental health illness. I don't have an irrational fear of these things. I have logical, rational fears of them because of Islam's teachings. If you know about Prophet Muhammad's teachings in the Hadiths and the Quran, they're all backwards, evil teachings. And this is a Christian country. And in my opinion, we need to get back to being a Christian country and having Christian morals and values. And again, Muslims, they go into these communities, they go into these places, they take over and they vote each other in. And then they try to, they overpopulate and they obviously get into government, as you've seen in Leeds. And obviously, who do you think they're going to look after first? The British people or their own Muslims? Obviously, they're going to look after the Muslims first. Eventually, they're going to try and enact Sharia law, which is obviously the last step. And look at all the Christians around in the Middle East right now, in Africa, in Nigeria, who've been persecuted by radical Islamists to this day. They're being persecuted and killed. And no one ever wants to talk about that. I mean, look at look at what Christians have to do in the Middle East. They have to pay like a tax, a demi tax. They call it like a jizya. They either get killed, thrown out, or they have to pay a tax. But look at what we do for Muslims here in the West. We give them everything they want, religious freedom. We give them everything, and then they spit right back in our faces. I'm sorry for sort of going on a bit of a rant, but that's just my feelings on that, ABL.
I understand 100%.
Sorry, yeah, I don't want to take up too much time. Thanks again for taking my call. Great show, and shout out to everyone in chat, mate. Take care.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
Take care, mate. Thank you. Bye.
It's a fantastic call. I mean, I have no complaints. That's right on it. There's a lot of that going on. Like I said, you got the normie Muslims, then you got the radicals. And then if you have people in the area that vote for the radical, that means they're radicals too. So that's going to be an issue. That's definitely going to be an issue. So yeah, shout out to UK. Hopefully you guys can hang on for a little while longer, but you got some problems, some serious issues going on. And like he was saying, some of the same things happening over there are happening here. It's areas in their country that are kind of going down that road. 504 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. So I have some things to say. And so my plants are doing good. They're growing. And on YouTube, I am about to reach the milestone of 1K subscribers that I set for myself so far. So I'm glad about that.
Well, congrats on both of those.
Thank you. And also, yeah, shout out to the callers and shout out to Danny. And also my uncle was talking to me about the situation over in London, because half my family lives over there, and that he's not in London anymore. He's like in the country part of it in England. But he was saying like if the mayor gets reelected, he thinks London will be finished. And then I see he's been reelected because I wasn't keeping up with the news of hearing from Danny. And yeah, that's unfortunate that happened. And like when I went to school, I had friends that were Muslim that are fine people. In America, there's a lot of Muslims that are good people. But now over in London and Europe, there seems to be more of the extremist ones. So like the people over there are seeing their country fall apart with many different policies from the far left, and radical people from, directly from Africa and the Middle East. So I can understand the frustration people have over there. If people may not be completely understanding Danny's perspective, that's my opinion about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I absolutely 100% understand.
Yes. Okay. And also, like you're talking about the mixed race people. Yeah, I understand. I've talked to people I've known that are that, and there does seem to be a confusion. And then when I talk to them, I tell them to be proud of both of their heritages. Like say I'm part Italian, part Irish, part German. Like they could be proud of being white and being black, and because they shouldn't feel like they have to be put in a box.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, in society, a lot of times they do get put in the box, and then that's what makes them go one way or the other and kind of overcompensate. That's kind of how it happens, but they shouldn't be forced to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% ABL, because society does do that, and it's an unfortunate situation. But I think that down here like New Orleans, black people were an essential part of the different things in the culture. Like white and black people like work together. Like the blacks did go with the food and different things, and the Europeans did too. And like both great things from New Orleans. Both of them come from black and white people. But I think that the left basically agitated the racial relations even more, and they wanted to make the schism even worse because they wanted to have people fight each other so they could have their utopia that's not going to happen. And and I think that it's a big mess, and I'm glad that it's being exposed.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right. And also another thing, because I was keeping up with the UCLA riots and seeing how it was playing out, and eventually the police came in and they took out all the stuff. And at first they had a small little group of police that came into the encampment. They got injured, they went away, Antifa was cheering. Then they went back in there, and then they got them this time. They had a bigger group, and they took all the stuff down. And they don't believe in private property, and they don't, they're Marxist and things like that. That they believe in those kind of ideologies, and they don't even care about the Palestinian situation. In my opinion, they're just using it for their political agenda. And I'm glad they're able to take it down. And I'm not too sure how many people were arrested. I saw something that said 2,000. Now I'm seeing something that says 200, but it was a lot of people.
Yeah, it's quite a few people. And the thing is, hopefully this one kind of punishment, because if there's not, then it's like, what was the point in arresting them?
Exactly. Because someone was calling over there for them not to be punished. And it's like, what the heck? Like, they have to be punished for that. And regardless of what side people are on, if they're Muslim, if they're Jewish, if they're Christian, whatever they are over there, nobody should feel that they have to be persecuted or being discriminated against at all.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think absolutely there are people on both sides that are kooky. Like you're showing the Zionist, the guy with the dreads are going, not the dreads, the fro that's kind of going down, the pink sweater. Yeah, he was a strange character.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And another thing I want to comment on is the Methodist situation. Is that, yeah, that church, some of those churches, those denominations have become a little bit more, pandering to the left. And seeing that convention was so cringe. It's like he's a cis white man that's, 10, 5, 6, 7. It's like you have to have all these definitions. Like you're just Anthony.
Right. It's not that deep. You don't have to go through all these different things. I'm Anthony. That's all you got to know.
Yeah. And then they have these people that, the different hair colors and stuff. And like Jesus said, there's false prophets that would arise. And I believe those people are certainly false prophets. And, Christianity's against the transgenderism, but they would also would not want people to go and do that to their church. But there's people that don't really believe in their own faith, so they're like corrupting it and pandering to the left.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. And Also, that is all I have to say for this call. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, great call. Let's keep it rocking and rolling here. Let's go to 860. You're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's up in A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, brother?
It's all good. What's happening?
Anthony, my man, caller's spot on. When Muslims are in the minority, they believe very strongly in minority rights. When they're in the majority, there are no minority rights. And that's the end of it. Until you get out and go see the rest of the world, don't tell me anything. Go spend 4 years in the military. You'll see more than you ever care to see about the rest of the world. If you don't love America, fine. Don't love America. Go to the country whose flag does not offend you. Make that country as good as you can, Sugar Blossom. You'll have my good feelings and support, but we'll leave my tax dollars right here. Oh, man, ABL. It just keeps getting better and better, don't it?
I see.
It's been a long 4 years, but you're doing great. Love the show, love the callers. I just love sitting and listening to them all. And I just hate being right all the time. I just want my kids to have the childhood I had in the 60s and 70s, you know? Those days are gone.
They're
I'm back
long
to
gone.
living. I'm back to living under the threat of nuclear war. Right back to getting under my desk. All right, ABL, I'm going to let you go with that, brother. You take care. As always, great show. Love the Uncle ABL. God bless America. Come on, people. Let's get our country back.
Thanks for the call.
Bye.
Definitely appreciate you. All right, great call. 773, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for taking my call. First of all, ABL, I want to say that I'm proud to have 0 followers on my non-existent YouTube channel. That's number one. ABL, I know you're a humble guy. You've had a lot of success on YouTube. Let people know, though, just how much work it is, because I know
Emory University
you have over 1 million followers, a couple of channels, all this stuff that you post is a full-time job. And I think sometimes people don't realize just, how much work that you do to provide this much content. Don't be so humble, ABL. Let people know how hard it is.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot that goes into it. Just the topics every day, coming up with topics, trying to find news. Like most of my day is spent reading. I don't even really watch TV at all. I dedicate a lot of hours to it. I don't really get out a whole lot. I'm just really, really focused on what I got to do. People can see like a minute clip of me or 10 minutes. They don't know what went into that 10 minutes that you see.
Well, yeah, anybody can guess, though. If you're intelligent, you can realize just how much work it is, and it is a lot of work, I'm sure, ABL. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is the video of, obviously, the copper with trying to pull over the, I wouldn't call her state's attorney, the accountant prosecutor or whatever she was. I've had that happen to me before, ABL, and I simply say, I'm not talking to a voice over a phone, to an anonymous voice. I'm not taking that call. If your connection, whether it's the mayor or whoever it might be on that phone, and it may be, can come down to the station and talk to me. I'm not talking to a voice over a phone. I'm not doing it. So I would have never grabbed that phone in the first place. And here's the bigger point that I wanted to make, ABL. Remember, I was the police before and after all this accountability with cameras and all these recordings and everything. They thought that putting a camera on every policeman was going to catch police corruption, was going to catch the police, doing untawdry things, and going to catch the police not being professional. But in reality, what it's shown is that how society is acting in these neighborhoods, what the police have to deal with. Even the police, YouTube police channels that show police shootings, even the majority of police shootings are shown that the police are being fired on. Somebody's shooting at the police, and then the police shoot back. It has not gone with their narrative. That's what they wanted. They wanted to show police corruption, and it shows the real corruption in society and trying to make society behave. That's what, in my opinion, that's what it's shown. So, you don't see the majority. I mean, can you imagine the hundreds and thousands of hours of police footage on these video cameras? They are recording you all the time. All the time they're recording you. And I tried to explain to people and to young policemen in the past. I tried to explain to them just the way Alexa works, the Google Alexa. In order for you to yell out in the middle of your living room, Alexa, look this up or that up, means that device is always listening to you. It is always listening to your conversation. Otherwise, it would not be able to respond to your questions out of the thin blue air. And it's the same with the camera. When I go to a call, or, I'm retired now, of course, but when I went to a call, I was required to hit the camera to get it to record, but that's what people thought, but it was always recording. It's always recording to the memory in the hard drive. And pressing that button, all that does is it starts the voice up, it starts your audio up after a few seconds, and it flags or marks, it bookmarks where this incident has occurred. So that when you download all that information in your camera and it's downloaded, that information, then you can go to that bookmark. Oh, here's the bookmark. There's where that incident is. Instead of watching or instead of looking at all the hard drive footage, of you driving around to get to that incident, which also means that it's recording when you go to the bathroom. It's recording when you're eating, your lunch. It's always recording. It has that capability, which I'm surprised that there's no lawsuits about the camera going while you're in the bathroom, because you are disciplined if you turn off your camera. If you turn it off and try to turn it back on, you're going to be disciplined for that. They don't want you shutting your camera off at any time, even though it happens, but you might take a day or two suspension for that. So, you saw how she reacted, though. She realizes, because she's in county government, oh my God, I'm recorded on that now. When she was able to think about it, that's why her apology came, and I'm going to discipline myself and everything else, because now she's scared of the implications of how she looks on camera. You just should have just pulled over and let them give you a ticket, or you politely ask, I'm sorry, I was speeding. Is there any way you can just give me a warning or a break? But instead, she had this ungodly behavior, and now she has to answer to it, which now she's trying to tell you this and that, anything not to get fired from her job. I'm going to discipline myself. I'm going to give a fine to myself. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, ABL, and I guess I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right, fantastic call. Yeah, that body cam definitely comes in handy when you trying to when you are able to reveal what people are doing. They think that people aren't really looking and all this and that. Now all of a sudden, hey, your bad behavior is out there for the world to see. But thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I'll be back live again on Wednesday, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you to everybody that's been watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I could not do this show without you, so thank you for being here. most certainly appreciate y'all. Let's see. Oh, shout out to everybody that's been watching, retweeting, super chat. And shout out to the mods keeping the trolls in check. And I think I got some more super chats on deck. I'll read those right quick. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. This is also a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, etc. Not Stitcher no more. Stitcher, that's been gone. It's Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Play, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. So shout out to, where did we leave off? Thank you to Angel Rivera. It says, hey, ABL, hope all is good. Great show as usual. Thank you to Patch Duress, who says, ABL, have you ever met half racial people in America that simply accepted their mixed heritage and didn't go the beta path by leaning hard into the ethnic half? Thank you to John Sanabria for your donation. Thank you to Susie Lesarge, who says, good job, ABL. Appreciate you. You said JBL. That's not my name. That's my dad's name, actually. Jeffrey Brian Logan. I'm Anthony Brian Logan. But shout out to you. I appreciate you. Might have just a little bit of typo. Thank you to Bobcat MIT, who says, I know it's not your doing, but still looking for that 1 million plaque. Hey, as soon as I get it, you got it. You know, I doubt I'll ever get it, but we'll see. If I do ever get it, which I doubt, you guys will be the first one to know. Thank you to Bina for gifting 5 ABO memberships. Thank you to Old Joe, who says, I'm using up my free membership chat to say keep up the good work. ABL Plus at Charade is awesome. Shout out to you for that one. And thank you to Slender Brunley Charming for the donation and the thank you emoji. I appreciate you for that. I think that'll pretty much be a wrap for me. Until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.